ESPN690.com or the MILB First Pitch app. But also, you'll be able to hear most of our games on the ESPN 690 AM frequency.
Well, there you go. That's Harold Craw making the announcement for the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp today, and we are fired up about it. The announcement just came out about an hour ago, and we are now your flagship home, not only for Florida State football and basketball here in Jacksonville, but also the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. You can listen to Jumbo Shrimp games as they make the jump to AAA here this summer, right here on ESPN 690 with more than 90 games over the airwaves, and then all of them on ESPN690.com streaming as well. So we're excited about that. What a brand the Jumbo Shrimp are, and we hopefully you like our brand as well, Action Sports Shacks and ESPN 690. We think it's a fun marriage, and can't wait to get it going. We'll talk more about it as the show continues. Brent Martineau here on a Monday after the Masters, and you know what else is new? At a golf course, this time for a charity event, Jacksonville Golf and Country Club hosting the Child Cancer Fund golf tournament, which Cox Media Group is certainly involved in a big-time way with Carathon. Rich Jones does an unbelievable job. That will be happening in August. They'll have their gala a little bit later on in the year as well, but this is one of their marquee events, and it feels like back to normal a little bit, out and about playing the charity golf tournament on a beautiful Monday here in Jacksonville. Austin Lane in the Action Sports Shack studios. Justin Kuzart on his wedding week. What kind of coups are we going to get, Austin Lane, for the next couple of days before he runs off, gets married, and then goes on his honeymoon?
I mean, we were talking about this a little bit before we came on here. The fact that you're here for the next 2 days, Kuz, is beyond me. Because if I was you, I would just take the whole 2 weeks off, man. Enjoy yourself.
We woke
it's party
up,
mode.
Me and my fiance, we woke up this morning and we looked at each other and we said, "Why did we go in the next 2 days?"
Yep. But it is what it is.
I mean, you're here
now.
All that time off. You just didn't want to take all the time off. You felt guilty.
It feels weirder saying I'm taking 2 weeks off than saying I'm taking like a few days and then a week off.
And then a week off. I got you.
Well, let's be honest, though, okay? What would Kuz really be doing the next couple of days? It's not like he's helping out with the wedding. He's just in the way.
Yeah.
So I bet everybody's glad Kuz is working.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You still got to write those vows out, don't you? Or do you have those vows done?
That's for September. I've got time on that.
Oh, that's right. Still got to write those vows out eventually, right?
Yeah, but that's a September problem.
Well, you said that now and you hold off on it, and all of a sudden, the lights don't work in your apartment because you didn't pay the electric bill. So let's make sure to plan out those vows a little better. But no, I mean, I think if Kuz is chilling right now, probably having a couple basic beverages, which is okay though, man. Like this is a big deal. It only happens once, unless you want to look at the numbers of the divorce rates, and it only happens twice for a lot of people.
Well, technically, we're getting married twice because we're having two.
It's a good point, man.
So.
Screw the numbers. We're getting married twice back to back. I like it.
I jokingly said the other day, I was like, so does this mean we'll have to, like when you want to get rid of me, you have to divorce me twice?
And her response?
A look of disappointment.
Sure.
Maybe. Maybe. What you say you were getting married twice. What's the thing in September? What are we doing here?
September's the one you guys are invited to. September's the party.
Yep.
So, but this Friday, right? It's Friday?
Yes.
You're actually getting married. Like you're legally getting married?
Yes. Friday we're legally getting married so that we can just kind of have everything done, have a date, because this was the date we wanted. And then September's the date where hopefully everything's a little better, a little more opened up, and we can have everybody and have an actual party.
Okay. So that's the deal. That's the spiel on what's happening, because this was supposed to be the big party. We were supposed to be up in North Carolina doing the show on Friday.
Yeah.
From the wedding. Mm-hmm. That's what we were supposed to be doing.
That was the goal.
And now getting it up there in September is going to be pretty difficult, just to let you know.
Yeah, it is. It's also Labor Day weekend, so.
But it is Labor Day weekend, so there's a chance.
It's on, but the wedding's on a Saturday, right, Kuz?
No, it's a Friday. I believe it's a Friday. It's 3rd, September 3rd.
I'm there, dude.
Yeah, we just got high school football and all the rest.
Well,
we'll figure it out.
Don't say we. You got high school football. As far as I'm concerned, it's Friday, and I'm going to have a foot in the parking lot on my way to North Carolina. It's in North Carolina, right?
You already.
Yeah.
You'll be there. So then maybe you'll be the guy on the remote, and I'll be in the studio.
Oh, could you imagine? What is this, bizarre world?
The best would be
me not in the studio.
The best would be is we're going through the wedding stuff. Austin comes up and be like, "Hey, I don't know how to connect this access. Can you look it up for me real quick?"
Yeah, that would happen.
Oh, yeah.
That would definitely happen.
Absolutely.
Hey, The Masters was somewhat boring until the final hour yesterday. It really was. I mean, there was no drama. I'd actually kind of written some of my show last night on TV, and it was like, wow, no drama. Dustin Johnson, no real drama. Hideki Matsuyama, and then there got to be some drama. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I think it's one of the most fascinating wins we've seen in sports, and especially a sport that's popular in American culture, because it's massive globally, and this is a huge win in Japan. But do we feel it that way? And I think the resounding answer to that is no. But that's unlike many things. I mean, we don't do that very much. If you feel it here, you feel it everywhere, it seems like. With the exception of soccer, I think, in some sports like rugby, those are celebrated in other places way more than they're celebrated here. But we're talking something done on American soil that will be celebrated way more than it will be celebrated in the States with the Hideki Matsuyama win in the 2021 Masters. So we will get into that. Not going to share this in its entirety today, but I did catch up with Dabo Swinney this morning, the Clemson football coach, about Trevor Lawrence. So we'll reveal some of the football stuff as the weeks get closer to the draft and coming up. But we will hear from Dabo a little bit today on the wedding on Saturday of Trevor Lawrence, and also, what Jags Twitter has done to get to welcome Trevor Lawrence and his wife Marissa to Jacksonville, which is a foregone conclusion about 17 days away from happening. And it really wraps up a wild weekend, man. I mean, it was hard not to pay attention to what Jags Twitter did. I know it was spearheaded by Dilla, but they all jumped in and raised, I think, over $7,000 now for charity. Got him a toaster, got him a vacuum. And it was a story that you kind of figured by sometime late on Friday, like after our show, that it was going to be a viral story, and a lot of people have picked up on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool to see. It's the power of Jaguars Twitter once again. And like from Trevor Lawrence's perspective, I can't imagine what Trevor Lawrence and all his people have thought about this, but the Jaguars are a team, and I think especially their fan base is a team that plays second fiddle a lot. And we always make jokes about it where, if the Jaguars are up for draft, the pick is in, they go to commercial, you don't get a lot of primetime games, kind of all this stuff, and in terms of bad optics, whenever you have bad optics, well, that doesn't help the fan base out either. And this is another example of the cool stuff that the Jacksonville fan base has done and what kind of sets them apart from everybody else. So it's been cool to see. It's another reason why I absolutely love Jags Twitter, and I absolutely encourage everything they do. And it's just cool to be in the national spotlight for something as cool as this, let's just say.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's like this in every market. I think our market is a little bit different. I compare it more to Buffalo. Green Bay's a little bit, I know it's small, Green Bay, but Green Bay has so much tradition and history. It's an unfair comparison. I mean, we're newbies here in Jacksonville relative to Green Bay and the start of football and Vince Lombardi and all that. So but Buffalo has this feel, wasn't it Buffalo that for Josh Allen, they raised a ton of money on behalf of his grandmother recently? I mean, it feels like that kind there's a blue collar feel we know in Buffalo. Is that blue collar feel here in Jacksonville as well? Kind of that underdog, underappreciated kind of sense in both places. And I think I don't know if everybody gets that. I don't know if the Jets fans are doing this. I don't know if Patriots fans are doing it. They probably do their own little thing, but not like this. And I think that's what does separate it a little bit.
To me, no, and I mean, maybe some of them do it. I'm sure every city has their cliques that, support players and give to charities and stuff like that. But to me, what makes the smaller, and, I say small market in quotes, but when you look at the small market teams, it almost seems a little more personal. Because if you go out in New York, odds are you may never see Zach Wilson out and about. But if you live in Jacksonville or if you're by the beach in Jacksonville, there's always that chance that, hey, you may see Trevor Lawrence shopping someplace. You may see him at the beach. Jacksonville's I don't know, it's a large spread out city, but it's still kind of got that small town feel a little bit. And that makes it a little more personal. And I think that, when you have a situation like Trevor Lawrence and people are excited and people are just, they're so optimistic as they should be because let's be honest, the past decade in terms of quarterback play, it hasn't been the best here. And all of a sudden you got something new, something fresh, something exciting. People are excited for that, and they should be. And it just goes to show you that, okay, can Jacksonville offer those large endorsements, those, $2 million contract car dealerships? Probably not. But what Jacksonville can offer you is that sense of just, being a little more personal, being a little more that small town feel. And I get this sense that, knowing Trevor Lawrence and everything that we've learned about him so far, I think that's what he would prefer as opposed to those big city lights in New York City.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Again, I mean, we spent so much time, whether it's Cartersville, Clemson a couple of times, Dabo Swinney this morning talking to him. I mean, the fit of Jacksonville is going to be really good for Trevor Lawrence. I mean, just telling somebody here on the golf course, we were just talking about this kind of feel and what's going on over the next few weeks. And this is going to be like the biggest place Trevor Lawrence has lived. Like, we talk about Jacksonville like a small town, but it's the biggest place he's lived, from Cartersville to Clemson to Jacksonville. So it will almost have a big feel for him in a sense, but we know exactly what you're saying. I think people take small town sometimes and small market, and there's like this negative connotation. I don't at all. Like, if you're from Jacksonville, you take that as a negative connotation. Well, I'm sorry about that. I don't mean it that way. I think it's like should be celebrated. It's this big city. It's a growing city, a fast-growing city, but it still feels like it will always keep that small-town feel. I think that's a great trait for a city. I mean, that's why I like it.
That's why I'm here. That's why I've chose to plant my roots here, at least for now, just because, I was born in Chicago, but I grew up in a small town in Wisconsin. Then I went to a smaller school at Murray State, Kentucky, and Jacksonville, a lot like Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville is the biggest spot that I ever lived in. And in the beginning, it's a little intimidating, obviously, because everything is so spread out. I was not used to driving 45 minutes to the airport, but once I got, conditioned to that and everything, I realized, like, hey, I kind of see the same amount, like the same types of people out at certain spots. It's really not that big. It's spread out, but it's not that big, and I enjoyed that. And that was one of the reasons why I chose, hey, when I'm done playing football, this is going to be my home base.
Yeah, and just one more thing about that. I think that's why players do that. Not just you, Austin, but so many. From the Scobies to coaches like Coughlin and others. I mean, they make a home here for a lot of reasons. It's Florida. I mean, the beach isn't far away. The income tax is a pretty good deal for those guys, too. But I do think they fall in love with it. Not everybody. It's not for everybody. But I think so many do. And I think that's part of it. I think if you look at the quarterbacks that have played here recently, from Garrard, and I think even a small-town feel, he was the franchise quarterback, but you could see him in the grocery store, to your point. Gardner Minshew, I think if he had had success, he would have been that guy that you run into wherever, at the Clay County Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. Especially after that look this weekend from Gardner.
I was going to say, after he posted that, I'm like 95% sure he was driving next to me a Friday night home from work.
For real? That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, a Mississippi license plate. The guy that went by, I'm pretty sure, had a mullet, and he was pretty big. I love it, man. Dude. Yeah.
I love it. Probably the most aggressive picture I've ever seen a quarterback take, but I'm not mad at it whatsoever, man. To each their own, and he's letting his freak fly, like flag fly, let's just say, and I'm all for it.
And then one last one. I think Blake Bortles, if he had had a lot of success as a QB on the field, would have been like huge in this town. I really do. Like, it just didn't feel – he felt – I mean, he's from right down the road, but he felt Jacksonville, and I think that's why people liked him. I mean, obviously he didn't love the play, but I think there's a big affinity for Blake for many of that. And I think Trevor's going to be a lot different than those guys, but I think he's going to fit. And that's what everybody else says. Dabo's quote today, and again, we'll share the conversation at a later date, but he looks like Hollywood, but he's the most un-Hollywood guy that you'll meet. So that kind of says a lot. Speaking of big and little, whether it's big city feels like a small town, how about the Jumbo Shrimp? ESPN 690 and the Jumbo Shrimp partnering up to carry all the games, or all the games at ESPN690.com, and most of the games right over ESPN 690. Scott Kornberg from the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp joins us. Just made the announcement a little over an hour ago when you had a couple of big announcements, but we were glad to be part of it. Scott, hope you're doing well. We're looking forward to this first ever AAA baseball season around the corner, and you guys have a lot of exciting things going on.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, a lot of announcements, and thanks for having me on. Obviously, as the broadcaster, maybe my personal favorite is ESPN 690 will be our new radio home, which I'm really, really super excited about. And I think for our fans, obviously for a lot of your listeners, you guys are sports fans, and AAA baseball, this is the highest level of the minor leagues. So we're really, among everything else, our giveaways, our promotions, our fireworks nights, FIS being our new presenting partner for the next 5 seasons. Really, May 4th brings a lot to look forward to.
Scott, you guys seem like you have momentum. You've carried it over. Ken Babby, ever since he bought the club, the name change, all that stuff. Seems like there's something different every year. Now, last year you didn't have baseball. Have you guys picked up a lot of the momentum from the absence of it last year? I mean, I know it felt so different, but do you feel like baseball's right around the corner? Do you have momentum going with the Jumbo Shrimp, with the AAA announcement, with this being an alternate site for the Marlins? It feels like even coming off a year where there was no baseball in Jacksonville, that you guys have a lot going on.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that, Brent, really reflects in the community support for us. Is that we had a tough year last year with no baseball, but we still had people showing up for movie nights or bingo nights or fan batting practices on the field. There was still a way for us to, pour our heart and soul into something that maybe was a little bit different than people were used to, but obviously still made us feel relevant. And then in the fall, I honestly think that AAA announcement was really, from a staff perspective, almost what we needed as well. And the community incredibly has responded. I mean, we're going to be doing a limited distance seating model to at least start the season, and then hopefully keep opening up more and more as the year goes on. But the majority of our seats are actually sold out for our dugout reserve section for all of our ticket packages. So, I mean, I think that's a reflection of the support that we have, and I think it's also a reflection of the excitement of coming back, and then the excitement of coming back now as a AAA team, which wouldn't have happened. You were talking in the previous segment about how Jacksonville is growing. I mean, that's a huge part of it, as well as we just, have always had that support from people ever since Ken really arrived. And it wasn't a broken model by any stretch of the imagination at all before that, but I think he made his tweaks, and the community has responded in kind, and we've been really, really lucky for that. So, the AAA announcement is just a little bit of that extra juice. The alternate site has been really great, too, because you actually see baseball players here on the field, which is neat. And, we just can't wait to open up the gates on May 4th.
Scott, obviously you mentioned it. There wasn't baseball last year for the Shrimp. And although that, the people came out in the community that supported, like, what is your biggest takeaway that you took from that year off? I guess, what did you guys work on a little bit? What are kind of some of the scenes, like the scenes behind the scenes, I guess I would say, and what can we expect this year from the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think for us, it was, almost a challenge, is that, hey, when we come back, we're going to have to be better than ever. And so I think last year was a really big year for us. And what can we do differently? What can we do better? Obviously, what kind of promotions that we're known for can we bring about for the upcoming season? And, I think that's the biggest thing that people hang their hat on here. We can't control the baseball. Obviously, it helps when it's AAA, and we're going to be really getting some great players because the Marlins organization is so highly rated, and they've got really an extraordinary amount of top 100 prospects. Well, we can't control those promotions, and so those bobbleheads like a Stone Garrett bobble from his SportsCenter top play from 2019. There's a George Costanza bobblehead from his scene where he's eating a bunch of shrimp in the office. There's a whole bunch of other classics like Thirsty Thursdays and Military Appreciation Nights, and I think those we had to keep going because they're so popular, as well as the dog days that we have sprinkled throughout the calendar. But I think that big challenge for us is, as a staff, what kind of other ideas can we bring that make, A, going to the ballpark such a fun experience, that B, in the midst of a pandemic, make people feel safe, while also affording them the opportunity for a really good value to go out and make memories. And that was what last year was really all about. So that's why we experimented with so many different things like bingo. Like, who would have thought we'd ever have bingo nights here? And they ended up being some of our most popular stuff. So it was a tough year. It was really challenging, to say the least. But, I think if we had to do it again, we probably would do a lot of the same stuff, because I think we found out a lot about each other as a staff. And I think, some of the stuff that we're going to bring out beginning on May 4th will really be reflected in kind of the ideas and the summits we had together as a staff during a year without baseball.
Love the creativity the minor league brings, teams bring, but also the personnel, like people like Scott Kornberg with the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. You'll hear the voice a bunch right here on ESPN 690 on the dial. More than 90 games over the airwaves on ESPN 690. All the games on ESPN690.com. Scott Kornberg calls a bunch of the games, of course. Well, all of them. And we're looking forward to listening to the Jumbo Shrimp right here on ESPN 690, and we love the brand of the Jumbo Shrimp, and well, we kind of are a little biased about our brand, ESPN and Action Sports Jacks, so we look forward to maybe combining some creativity in both departments when it comes to that. Tell us a little bit more, Scott, about this alternate site. This is kind of this new thing, and Jacksonville's an alternate site for the Marlins. What does it mean? You're going to have players playing ball there. You're going to have players trying to develop their skills, but there's really not a lot of fan interaction between the alternate site guys and fans, right?
That's correct. So I apologize to all your listeners for having to hear my voice, first of all, for the games this year. But the alternate site, it's a great question because obviously it's a fairly new thing in baseball. So last year when there was no minor league baseball season, to give at least some players a way of developing, what the major leagues did was create these alternate training sites to allow, I think it was about 50 different players. They could be non-roster invites. They could be older guys. They could be young prospects, the chance to still get instruction in kind of a controlled environment. And those were at all of the spring training sites. So for the Marlins, that was in Jupiter, Florida. And this year, they delayed our season to May 4th, I believe about a month ago. And it was really for a great reason. They just want the players to get vaccinated, so it's not really anything for alarm or concern. And what they did was, for spring training this year, they only had the major leagues and the AAA players report on time. And then so whoever didn't make the opening day roster for the Marlins or whatever your favorite major league team was, they sent these players to quote alternate training site, and it's almost like an extended spring training. So what we have right now, the guys that we have, as well as the coaching staff, is pretty much going to be the Jumbo Shrimp on May 4th. Obviously, there's some guys who get promoted, like Daniel Castano went up to Miami the other day, and Nick Neidert a few days before that. But it's just a way to give each major league club a safe haven almost for players to train, if necessary, be promoted while they await the start of the minor league season on May 4th. And pretty much the guys we have here are the ones that we're going to have on May 4th. As for the fans, we're obviously hopeful that maybe we can open up an exhibition game. They're actually playing in Dunedin and Port Charlotte this week, so they're not actually around against the alternate site for the Rays and Blue Jays. But, we're hopeful when those two clubs return the trip that maybe we could do something and open it up. A lot of it is dependent on when those vaccines are taken and that 2-week incubation period for the players. They're obviously trying to make sure that they're safe and ready to go so we don't have a flare-up during the minor league season and have to move games to the end of the calendar or whatever they're going to do if that situation were to arise. But hopefully with the vaccinations for the players, that won't be a concern, and we'll be able to have fans in here on May 4th for sure, and we'll see about the alternate training site in advance of them.
All righty, Scott Kornberg from the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Hey, man, thanks for the explanation of that. We're fired up for it just around the corner. Going to listen to Jumbo Shrimp games right here on ESPN 690. We love taking our show on the road, which means we'll be over there at the baseball grounds quite a bit, I would think, with Action Sports Jacks from 3 to 6, maybe leading right into some of the games. And if you ever need a bathroom break, Austin and I just jump in, for a little play-by-play for an inning. I have no idea what Austin's call would be, but we'll work on it between now and then.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep that in mind. Sometimes I get hungry or whatever during the game. So you know what? If I need to get a hot dog or something, you guys can come in and I'm down. That sounds great. Just have those calls in advance so we can kind of prep our audience because they'll be really worried about like what happened to our terrible broadcaster with these two aces around here all of a sudden.
You better believe it.
Yeah. Well, you might want to vet us out.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for having me on it. I'm really looking forward to our partnership and being on ESPN 690. It's going to be really just tremendous, I think, not just for us, hopefully for you guys, but also for the fans in Jacksonville with AAA baseball. I can't see anything better than being on a sports station like yourselves and everything you guys are doing on there. We're really, really just jazzed up as a staff.
We are too, Scott. Appreciate it, man. Tell everybody hello over there. Congratulations on a big news conference today, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks again, guys.
All right, that's Scott Kornberg from the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Work on the call, Austin.
Oh,
Let's do
dude,
an
I don't have
inning.
to work on anything, man. I'm ready to roll. You know how I roll.
You got it.
I'm ready to rock. Let's go.
All right.
Smells like ribeyes. Smells like barbecue, for some runs. I mean, I got all these phrases already down. We're good to go.
I'm going to steal one from my buddy Tony Howell the other day. I was at a game. It was great, actually. I think it's a great call. We should use it, and it's especially appropriate for the Shrimp.
Hit me with it.
So the Creekside's playing St. John's Country Day, and the game ends on a guy getting thrown out at home plate. And St. John's Country Day wins 1-0. And he says, "Bang, bang, play at home. Just like we like our shrimp. Bang, bang."
Not mad at that.
No, pretty
Yeah,
good. Just
not
how we
bad.
like our shrimp. Bang,
I like
bang.
it. I like it.
I'm stealing that. I'm stealing that for TV. I'll give you credit, Tony Howell, but I'm stealing that.
I like it.
But if we get to the booth, we might want to steal that one, too.
For sure.
That could be good. I don't know if, bang, bang shrimp is, a trademark.
Ooh.
Who cares?
I mean, I think you can get bang, bang shrimp anywhere, though.
Yeah,
I think we'll be all right.
It's not like we're making money off it. We're just saying.
Oh, I mean, eventually you can make some money off it.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, let's make some money by going to commercial. When we come back, we talk some football. Trevor Lawrence, of course, a countdown to the NFL draft, 17 days away. We're live at Jacksonville Golf and Country Club for the Child Cancer Fund Golf Tournament. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly sunny skies today. High temperatures make it into the low 80s as we head through the afternoon, but mostly clear and dry this evening. Overnight lows drop down to the upper 50s. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Biedenball.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Don't miss the buy one, get one free on wedding bands through the 25th.
It's been 6 months since my wife leased her new Cadillac from Fields Auto Group, and she absolutely loves it. It's our first experience with Fields, and it's been terrific. They say you can step up to luxury for less, and we did. Not just a luxury Cadillac XT6. The car is beautiful, but the customer service is extra special, too. It was like that at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville, and it will be like that at any of the Fields locations in Jacksonville. Cadillac, of course, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche as well. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. We are now part of that Fields Amenities program, and my wife tried the loaner program. It was easy and a nice added benefit. So whatever you're driving, see Fields and step up to luxury for less. Check out their locations all around Jacksonville, just like we did. You can go visit fieldsauto.com. Smoothie King is blending goodness to fuel your greatness. They make sure every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses whole fruits and only organic veggies. You'll never find any sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives in the smoothies. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of the blends. Skip the line and place your order online now at smoothieking.com for contactless pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Hi, I'm here reporting from one of the vaccine locations, and we're asking people today why they decided to get vaccinated. Ma'am, why are you getting the vaccine?
I'm getting the vaccine so that I can travel and be safe.
The COVID vaccine is a safe and proven way to get our lives back to normal. This is why the Florida Division of Emergency Management partnered with local community leaders to create Vax904.com. Visit Vax904.com or call 357-0892 to get more information.
Ever wonder why so many people are opening banking accounts at Community First?
Because it's a smart way to move your money around.
Or do anything else you want with it.
And at Community First, you don't have to pretend to be anybody special.
Just be yourself.
You can add a Community First banking account at any branch or on your phone, tablet, or desktop at justbeyourself.com. Community First. Just be yourself.
Federally insured by NCUA.
There is a taste of the islands in every drop of Vida de Luis tequila, imported directly from Tequila, Mexico to Jacksonville Beach. Vida de Luis is the only locally owned tequila in Jax Beach. Support local and try Vida de Luis. Award-winning, smooth, all natural, no aldehydes or additives, which means wake up feeling good the next morning. Find out where you can pick up a bottle of Vida de Luis, Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. Just visit VitaDeLuis.com. Support local and taste the islands in every drop.
Honda of the Avenues is the winner of the 2021 Dealer Rater Consumer Satisfaction Award, and you'll be satisfied too with the great deals happening in their service department. Honda of the Avenues has a 5% discount for seniors all the time and 10% military discounts. Plus, Ladies' Day is every Wednesday in the service department. That includes a free tire rotation with oil change and 5% off any other recommended service. See why so many people are giving Honda of the Avenues 5 stars. Find out more at HondaoftheAvenues.com.
Transmission problems? Call Action Transmission Specialists on Merrill Road, where you get the work done right the first time by the experts. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. Our techs can service all makes and models, and we provide a nationwide warranty, so you have the peace of mind knowing we solve your transmission troubles fairly and honestly and guaranteed nationwide. Call us at Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road, where quality counts. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
At Movember, we're best known for the mustache. Well, here's the thing. Men's health deserves support year-round, which is why we're more than a month, more than mustaches. All year round, we're doing more. We're delivering more research, more treatments, doing more to help men live happier, healthier, longer lives. But we need your support, because the more we can do, the more fathers, brothers, partners, sons we can protect. Movember, more than a month. Give monthly at Movember.com.
CGC Water has been telling you if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Still not a believer? Well, you can believe me. My family has been a happy CGC Water customer for 4 years now. Customer service is tremendous. We got our water tested. We were told about our options in financing in detail. No pressure, just information. Installation was quick, and the CGC team was there every step of the way. And we absolutely love it. Because it works. Heck, I even think my coffee tastes better because of it. And I love my coffee. A Connecticut system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. That's clean. Schedule your free water test today and ask how you can save up to $500. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 for details or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. Social distancing doesn't mean disconnecting. If you're working from home or just steering clear of coworkers, keep tabs on the world of sports and Action Sports Jacks on your smart speaker. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home to play ESPN 690.
Brent Martineau.
Never heard of what happened in Iowa yesterday, and I don't even know how to pronounce the name of it. Derecho.
Austin Lane.
Iowa State Cyclones. Should call them the derechos. You can shorten it up, call them the Chos. Why not, man? I'm into it.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about that. When I got married, we had our registry. I think we got, we call the fancy plates that we still have that I don't think we've ever had a meal on, to be honest with you, but we got them. We got the saucers and cups and all that stuff. So I'm glad everybody's pitching in to help him out, get off to a good start. But it's exciting. It was a great wedding again, fun time, and they're ready to roll.
That is Dabo Swinney. I caught up with him this morning. Much more of that interview will be played over the next couple of weeks. We're still trying to figure out where and to place it. But there were a couple of time-sensitive things about the wedding.
Yeah.
And I asked him about Jag's Twitter, like, were people talking about it on Saturday in South Carolina at the wedding? And the answer was an obvious yes.
Mm-hmm.
So nice job, Jag's Twitter. The vacuum, the toaster, and a big donation. And I think some of the fans, by the way, like his representation has reached out. And so they obviously know about it, and they're going to figure some things out. So really cool back and forth. Again, I don't think you can say enough about the efforts of that and where it went, and in just a short amount of time. I think it's fun stuff. And I cannot say it enough, Austin. We cannot overhype, over-talk about this situation the Jags are in. They have the number one pick when a potential really, 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 really good quarterback is available. And in all our travels and all our conversations about Trevor Lawrence, people want to talk about football secondary. They want to talk about the guy he is first, the human being he is first. Then they want to tell you about football and how much he checks the boxes and he can make every throw and he can run and he can eat up the information, process it, take it to the field from the film room. He's already into their playbook, according to Ian Rappaport, and studying that. I mean,
are you shocked that's breaking news, by the way? Wait a second. You mean to tell me the guy that's going number 1 overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars already has the playbook? You kidding me? Crazy. Shocking.
Yeah. Well,
unbelievable.
I remember we had a news conference with Urban Meyer at one point. I had asked Urban if that's possible to do. Like, can you do that? And remember, he had mentioned something like, some players, it's not just Trevor they did that with, but some players had seen, I would assume the way I interpret that was concepts and kind of putting them on the board, the whiteboard and these Zoom calls is the way we interpreted it at the time. But we might be to a point now, Austin, where he has more of that book, and he might have requested more of that book. And now that they have the coaches hired and Bevel and all that stuff. So it'll be interesting when Lawrence gets picked and when we can do a little bit more of a deep dive into those kind of things, like how long has he known and how much has he been able to get into, or is he kind of just waiting until the day he got picked?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about that's kind of the benefit right now the Jacksonville Jaguars have. And I think that the Jets may fall in this category a little bit too, assuming they're going to take Zach Wilson number 2, which they should. But you already know who your franchise quarterback is going to be. So that part, the hard part's over. So, I mean, now's a chance to try to, milk every single amount of time that you have with this guy, because keep in mind, we're not sure what training camp's going to look like yet, what preseason's going to look like quite yet. So this is an opportunity to try to give him the playbook a little bit, get him acclimated just a little bit. Don't overblow everything and don't fry him right off the get-go. But it's good to send him that playbook just so he can start to learn some of the verbiage and things like that. So by the time he comes in here, he's already up to par.
Yeah, I was talking about this with Olivia yesterday because we're working on our draft special, and this is you let me know if this is over dramatic or not. Well, this is what I told Olivia. I said the way we have to look at this in Jacksonville, this is what it could be, is more like people want to compare Joe Burrow and maybe even a Josh Allen or name your quarterback that went the number 1 overall pick, but we really have to look at this, in my estimation, like Peyton Manning. And put the player aside for a moment. But the number 1 overall pick that comes in with a lot of credentials and a lot of belief that he checks a bunch of boxes. And has, by the way, for a long time, since like 8th grade. By the way, does that remind you of Manning a little bit? I mean, Manning's been that dude since like 8th grade, right? Maybe since he was 5. Really.
Yeah, but keep in mind, though, it was Peyton Manning or Leaf at the same time.
I
with Trevor Lawrence, he was by himself.
You're right, and you're right about that. So there was a little bit of a difference. But if you put the football aside, and then you fast forward from when he was picked and fast forward some 15, 20 years now and look at the city of Indianapolis and look what has occurred in Indianapolis. And I don't know where Indianapolis was as a city back in the late 90s, but I don't think it's where it is today. And, of course, we always say Lucas Oil Stadium, the house that Manning built. Okay, that's one thing. But with those wins, with that success, with football's popularity, also came a city that now is like one of the host destination places. And if you look at our city, we're rapidly growing. We have room for growth. And that's the context that I don't think that's over dramatic to look down the road 20 years and say, man, Trevor Lawrence didn't just build a new stadium in Jacksonville, but look where Jacksonville is some 20 years later, not just because of Trevor, but in part because of Trevor.
No, it's all about winning ball games. And right now, Trevor Lawrence, we hope in this draft, gives you the best chance to win football games. And when you can do that, people want to cheer for a winner. And if people start showing up, they start believing, then that's what you can build around it. We see this happen in every NFL city once they start to have success. And once that hype is there, and once that energy is there. And, this team hasn't had a lot of that energy, a lot of that success in a long time, set aside from 1 year. So I absolutely agree. If Trevor Lawrence can come in here and win some football games, it's going to be a new type of energy in the city. And with new energy comes new things.
Yeah, you have a fast-growing city. You have a owner that wants to win and is okay to spend. You have Urban Meyer who knows how to win and is hungry to win. And you have Trevor Lawrence. Now the last part of this is win, because everything else is kind of in place. And when you have that marriage between a city that can catch on fire, a fan base that is thirsty, and a football team that gets it done, you see things like Indy. You see things like New England and how that organization changed. This is the time, folks. I mean, I'm not trying to be over dramatic. I think that's a reality because we've seen it happen in other NFL cities before, and it could happen in Jacksonville. Let's talk more football and a little controversy last night in MLB as well. It's on the way. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Monday. I'm Jake Mitchell. The Masters wrapped up yesterday from Augusta, and when the final shot fell in the cup, Hideki Matsuyama was victorious, finishing the weekend at 10 under par. He's also the first ever Japanese man to win a major. Here he is with what that means for Japan.
I can't say if I'm the greatest. However, I'm the first to win a major, and if that's the bar, then I've said it.
And in football news, one of the all-time great Tennessee Titan running backs, Eddie George, will take over as head coach of the Tennessee State Tigers. And Mike Tyson isn't the only boxing legend making a return to the ring. Evander Holyfield will face Kevin McBride on June 5th. Real Deal is 58 years old. The SportsCenter Update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Hello, you have reached the Crooks Arrest Training Helpline for all you newbies out there, where staying away from safe touch houses is not just a motto.
It's a golden rule.
Correct. Today, we'll point out the differences in video surveillance systems. First, the ding-dong doorbell camera.
Simple, easy to install, and easy to hack.
Yep. You know the news stories about hackers and employees hacking into those do-it-yourself video cameras.
But not with Safe Touch.
Right. Safe Touch has multiple safeguards, including encrypted technology, which protects it from hackers.
Plus, now Safe Touch offers advanced video surveillance systems with interior, exterior, and 24/7 video storage.
Just one more reason we always stick to the Crooks R Us golden rule. Stay away from safe touch houses. Tattoo that on your brain, newbie.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Too many people in our community face hunger. Fortunately, Catholic Charities Jacksonville helps food insecure people every day in the most cost-effective way. Throughout COVID-19, they've served 140 local families weekly, but they need your help. And with a generous donor offering a matching challenge, there's no better time. Right now, your donation to Catholic Charities Jacksonville's Feed a Family Fund will have double the positive impact. Please visit ccbjacks.org to feed a local family today.
You've been wanting a new ride, right? But you can't find what you're looking for? Well, check out my friends over at Arlington Toyota. They have over 400 pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs to choose from. Worried about your credit? Well, don't be, because with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. And when it comes to total peace of mind, Arlington's got you covered with their 30-day exchange policy. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
The Jacksonville Auto Show is back. Celebrate one of the First Coast's premier events, May 7th through 9th at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. Check out the hottest 2021 models, ride and drives, classics and exotics, and even historic military vehicles. Everything sanitized in a safe and clean environment. The Auto Show Mother's Day weekend, May 7th through 9th. Free parking from ViStar Credit Union. Discount coupons at gate gas stations. Tickets available only online at jacksautoshow.com.
Hey, April is Financial Literacy Month. At some point, you've said to yourself, man, if only I had known. We all make money mistakes, but the worst mistake is not educating our kids and teens about how money, credit, and debt work. So make a point to really talk with your kids about money. If you need help, visit any one-to-one financial credit union branch or our website at 121fcu.org. They're never too young to start investing and never too old to stop learning. Thanks. Federally insured by NCUA.
Guys, we need to clear a path here.
Indeed knows unexpected employee turnover can stall your business.
Stop by tonight. John.
Like at Chris's logistics company. To avoid things grinding to a halt, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jackson, ESPN 690. Social distancing doesn't mean disconnecting. If you're working from home, keep tabs on the world of sports and Action Sports Jacks on your smart speaker. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home, play ESPN 690.
Yeah, it was a beautiful wedding. It was just absolutely beautiful. You know, they've been dating since middle school, been together a long time, and tells you a lot about Trevor. You know, he's a very committed, very loyal guy. Dated all through college here, and so it's exciting for them to be able to start this journey together, this next chapter of their life. They're both graduates. She was a great athlete as well, and she's very competitive. She was a soccer player, but it was a beautiful wedding and a great celebration. It was great to see so many former players there and everyone just coming to be a part of that celebration. And now, you know, it's getting ready for the draft and then moving to wherever, you know, this next spot's going to be. And again, hopefully it's going to be down in Jacksonville, and he's going to start a long career there for the Jags, and hopefully take them to a Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl one day. That would be everybody's goal and dream.
Well, yes, it would, Dabo Swinney. Isn't it fun to just hear people talk about a guy like that?
About Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What do you want me to say? It's
that's all you have to do is say yeah.
Wedding deets with Urban Meyer, man. Like, it reminded me of, like, you know, for the Trevor Lawrence documentary. I'm getting a little behind the scenes about how him and you know, his wife now met and everything like that. That's cool.
Yeah, I was more saying the start of a long career in Jacksonville and bring them a Super Bowl.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, well,
more so than the wedding stuff, but
yeah.
That's the part I was more excited about.
Well, he's probably going to get more money for playing in Jacksonville than he does for his wedding, even though he got that nice donation. But yeah, I'm sure playing in Jacksonville is going to be paying the bills.
You know what I like about Dabo, man? Like, he did this with Deshaun Watson, and take away the current Deshaun Watson stuff, but he said he was going to be a very good player in the NFL, if you want to listen. And it turns out he is. Again, I want you to separate the current Watson stuff, but I just got to use that as an example because he had him as a quarterback. And I thought some people thought Dabo was over the top. Some of the stuff that he's saying, global icon, and I've seen some stuff written about, like, LeBron James, because he's been touted since he was, you know, in middle school when it comes to Trevor Lawrence. But he wasn't that wrong about on-the-field stuff and the football-wise of Watson. So, and he's not backing down. Every interview he does, he has such high praise for Lawrence. You would think somebody of Dabo's nature would maybe backtrack a little bit of that stuff and not keep the lofty expectations. What it shows me is it doesn't matter what he says because Trevor can handle the expectations is essentially what Dabo's saying.
Well, absolutely. And keep in mind, I mean, you know, the play of Deshaun Watson on the field or the play of Trevor Lawrence, that's a direct reflection of Dabo Swinney, right? So anytime they have success, well, then Dabo has success. And when Dabo has success, the school of Clemson has success. So it's great to see a coach, you know, get behind his guys, have supreme confidence in his guys, because that's how it should be. I mean, you recruited that guy there. You taught him some stuff about the quarterback position. You know, you helped that guy grow in your program, in your culture. You cultivated him. And then it's kind of like being that parent, you know, and you watch him go out into the real world. It's going to be proud of your guys, let's just say.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that carries over. And you know, he's blushing about a guy that's easy to blush about in terms of Trevor Lawrence, because I always go back to, and I keep telling everybody that will listen, it's like, hey, what people mostly talk about is just how good of a human being he is. And if you're a coach, I understand you want to win football games, but you're also really happy to have those guys in your program. But, he went to his wedding. He's kind of like a son to him now. I think sometimes that's cliche said, but the special ones, and Trevor Lawrence seems to fit that bill. And now it's just all about staying healthy and adapting to the NFL. We'll see what happens with Trevor Lawrence. More Trevor talk coming up a little bit later on, because Kuz had a really cool topic about other number one picks in sports, not just football, and we'll get to that. I want to ask you real quick about last night. I'm not sure if you saw the end of the Atlanta Braves game with all the controversy with the Phillies and the Braves, but replay was used, and replay was wrong. How is replay wrong, Austin, in sports? Like, what the heck is the point of replay if replay is wrong? I mean, replay was dead wrong last night. They said that the runner Bohm on a sacrifice fly touched home plate. They showed 5 replays. He clearly did not touch home plate. Like, he never touched home plate, and it was conclusive. Like, I'm not a Braves fan. I understand all the Braves fans on Twitter and everything, but what is the point of replay? I already think we haven't too much of it anyway, if they're not going to get it right, and how do you get it wrong?
Yeah, this is why I watch WrestleMania, so I don't have to worry about these kind of plays.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I obviously it was all over Twitter, and I saw that people were up in arms about it. I mean, I wish I had a good answer for you. I feel like that if you incorporate replay into your sport, it's going to slow it down and stop the flow of it, fine. But that's the sacrifice that you're willing to make the right call. But when you slow the game down, when you sacrifice the flow and just the time of everything, and then you don't get the right call, well, then you're almost a joke. Then people can't take you seriously, and you shouldn't take yourself seriously. So I didn't see the play happen in live, obviously, on TV. I didn't even really see a replay of how close that guy was. But if you go back to instant replay and you still don't make the right call, well, then, yeah, something's up, and MLB's going to definitely take a look at that.
Do you like replay in baseball? I'm a traditionalist. We've had these conversations in the past. I think there's too much of it, quite frankly. But do you like it? Do you mind it? In a game where they're trying to, keep the pace going, replay doesn't take forever in baseball, it doesn't seem like, but it still slows it down.
I like replay for baseball if it's going to be a difference between a run or not. I think that when the game is on the line and it seems like this game was on the line, then yeah, I absolutely love replay. Now, if we're talking about balls and strikes, I could care less. But if we're talking about runs being scored that could ultimately decide the decision of a game, I don't want the game to be decided by a bad call. I don't want the game to be decided by an umpire error. I don't think that's fair either. So I like the replay if we're talking about runs scored and everything like that. But obviously, if you can't make the right call, then what are we doing?
Yeah, and that's what really doesn't make sense. It's like, how do you look at that? I understand the conclusive evidence argument. This was conclusive. Like, he did not touch. Like, he never touched. Like, he was ruled safe initially. I thought he was safe. I thought it was a good call initially. But it took, like, one replay to figure out, I don't think he touched. Listen, they replayed a play in one of the games the other day. I think it was like the Yankees-Rays game we were watching. And it was like a finger coming off the bag on a pickoff move. And the guy was out. Like, they ended up getting it right. I think that's dumb replay. Like, I understand you got it right. I understand people will say, well, you can get it right. Well, you're talking about slowing down a game, and I think that's dumb replay. The play last night was a significant play in the 9th inning of a tie ball game. And if you're going to review it, just get it right. I mean, that's the moral of the story here. If we're going to do it, you can't get it wrong. Makes no sense.
I'm not sure what the conversations were like of why that play was wrong. Obviously, there needs to be some kind of, I don't know, find the umpire or do something, man. Like, I don't know. It's just, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's, and I don't, listen, it's the 9th game of the year or whatever it is in Major League Baseball. Maybe it is a big deal, down the road. I don't know if it's a big deal. I just think the nature of it, I think there's too much of it in baseball. Anyway, I think they want even more of it in baseball, believe it or not. But I am on the side of the Braves here that I just don't know how you can justify that in that situation of it being a call. And I think most of the time replay, when they reverse it, they get it right. I think the rules that we've come to know in sports where, hey, it's got to be conclusive, I think we can still debate some of these calls, but we have to almost anticipate that they were right or wrong. there's usually clear evidence whether they're right or wrong, and I think the replay officials do a good job. Boy, it seemed like they missed that one last night, unless they have a gopher cam that we just haven't figured out just yet. We're going to take a break. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Got to ask you about WrestleMania a little bit. Plus more Trevor talk down the road, and why the Masters was such a big win, even if some here in the States might call it boring. All on the way from Jacksonville Golf and Country Club on ESPN 690 next. We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talent Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talent Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000. Or visit guardingyournestegg.com. Where else can you get luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials? Only one place, at Colehane's Irish Pub at Atlantic Beach and on the South Side. It's as Irish as you can get, owned by 4 Irish sisters. And they've got fish and chips, of course, shepherd's pie. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. Colehane'sIrishPub.com for the full menu. And try the new 5 Sisters vodka at happy hour. Luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials, and so much more. 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and the South Side. Colehane's Irish Pub, Irish sass with 5-star class.
Hi, I'm here reporting from one of the vaccine locations, and we're asking people today why they decided to get vaccinated. Sir, why are you getting the vaccine?
Why am I getting the vaccine? Because I want to go to a concert with my friends in a full arena.
The COVID vaccine is a safe and proven way to get our lives back to normal. This is why the Florida Division of Emergency Management partnered with local community leaders to create Vax904.com. Visit Vax904.com or call 357-0892 to get more information.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
Life hacks. What would life be without them? Like using candle wax to loosen a stuck zipper. Here's another life hack. Now you can get the same high-quality insurance from Allstate, but at a new low rate. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit Allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Not available in every state. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
HBI, a national leader for career training in the building industry, is providing training, certification, and placement in the construction industry for veterans, their spouses, and children that are over the age of 18 at no cost. The following 2021 class dates are being offered: January 11th, February 16th, March 15th, April 12th, May 10th, June 7th. For more program and class details, please call Joe Jones at 407-717-7609 or visit the website at hbi.org.
Chiefs Assistant Coach Britt Reed has been charged with felony DUI for his involvement in a car crash earlier this year that left a 5-year-old girl critically injured. The Browns are progressing in talks with free pass rusher Jadeveon Clowney. There's optimism an agreement could be completed soon. He certainly would elevate an already solid Browns defense, believes ESPN's Marcus Spears.
The speed, the ability, all of these things you look at.
But you put him across from Myles Garrett, and you have this defensive line and a healthy back end. This can be a great team. Not a good team. This can be a great team.
NHL newly acquired Bruins winger Taylor Hall says he'd like to sign an extension with Boston.
What? Just 15 seconds to talk about Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea? That smooth taste of real brewed iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol? What? We started already? Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for it in the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Doug, I can't imagine what it's going to be like. What a thrill and honor it will be for me to take the green jacket back to Japan. And I'm really looking forward to it.
That is the interpreter for Hideki Matsuyama, the 2021 Masters champ.
Did you see the photo of him sitting in the airport?
I don't think I did, no.
Dude's
chilling. Obviously today.
Yeah. Dude's just chilling by himself in the Atlanta airport, just won the Masters. And obviously he's not flying private. I mean, who went to Japan? But he's sitting in the airport by himself, and the green jacket's just hanging out in the seat next to him, just like straddling the seat. It's just like, dang, man, like you're, in the golf world right now, you couldn't be hotter. And people are just walking by you thinking like, all right, this dude's just got a business jacket that's green. Cool. It's cool. It's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good time to fly for him if the airport's not as busy.
Sure. No, that's true, too. That's true, too.
Brent Martineau here at Jacksonville Golf and Country Club, home of the Child Cancer Fund Golf Tournament today. We're out at a great event. Cox Media Group does a lot with Child Cancer Fund, Rich Jones especially, WOKV 104.5 FM. They'll have the Carathon coming up in late summer. That's around August. And then they have a gala coming up a little bit later on in the calendar year as well. But beautiful day out here for a good cause. I may have to step away, actually, at some time in the next hour to go help MC an award ceremony during the show. So just waiting for the heads up on when the golfers finish. And we can do a little bit of that, so I may bounce in and out over the next hour here at Jacksonville Golf and Country Club. Before we get to Matsuyama a little bit more, I said this to I was having a little bit of an issue with how we get the video feeds out from here. And it's all based on, like, Wi-Fi usually. It grabs, like, Wi-Fi signals. It's very cool technology. But I had a little bit of an issue with it on Friday in TV, and sometimes it might just be in a bad spot. But I've had, like, I've been able to troubleshoot it and figure it out. Sometimes, like, jump on something else, or there might be an actual Wi-Fi here at the club.
Okay.
And so I asked Stuart. Stuart's my go-to, if I need a little help. I said, what do I hit on this thing's called the Live View to try the other channel? And then I said, actually, so I meant to say, I got the Wi-Fi to work. I said, I think I got a wife, actually. He said, his response was, I would hope you still do.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, like, I didn't catch it. I just saw
yeah.
his response, and he was like, I would hope you still do. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then I went back and read, I think I got a wife, actually, instead of, I think I got Wi-Fi, actually.
I got you. Yes, man. You be careful with those. They can be lost in translation sometimes, for
sure. That happens all the time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Some of the great ones
are
out there because of it. All right, Hideki Matsuyama. This is, in the United States, Will Zalatoris winning would have been unbelievable. 24-year-old California kid. I mean, just a lot of fun. Adam Sandler's tweeting about him.
Yeah.
The tournament in general, where was everybody? Like, where was Jordan Spieth to come get, Matsuyama? Where were the Chase? Schauffele awful in the first 6 holes, then rallies a bit to make it, then he ends up triple bogeying, but at least he created some drama at the end. Spieth created a little bit of drama, but most of the drama was brought in by Matsuyama, what he did on 15. He bogeys 3 out of the 4 final holes and kind of left the door open a little bit. So the tournament itself is okay. It looked like Matsuyama was going to win from Saturday night and through the front nine, and we got a little bit of drama at the end, but not enough. So I think a lot of people would be like, well, Hideki Matsuyama, that's okay, but he's not like this up-and-coming star. He's not Phil Mickelson. He's not Jordan Spieth. He's not this kid, the 24-year-old California kid we could talk about. So I think people around here say, boring. I can tell you this, man. You know, one thing I've learned about the Players' Championship and covering that year in, year out is just how global a sport golf is. All right? We kind of live in our own little bubbles, but it's such a global sport. Mm-hmm. And how big it is in a place like Japan and the Japanese media. And I've seen the Japanese media on a couple of different levels in a couple of different sports, from baseball to Hideki Matsui when I covered the Yankees and Red Sox when I was working up in Albany. I mean, a lot of Japanese media covering Hideki Matsui. It was that big of a story. And I'm sure it was the case with Hideo Nomo at the time and obviously Ichiro. But in golf, Hideki Matsuyama has been a superstar over in Japan. So this win is massive. And Tiger Woods said it. Ernie Els said it. It's massive globally for the sport of golf. But it doesn't feel that way in the United States. Let's not kid ourselves. It doesn't. Mm-hmm. How many events are like that where, like, something doesn't feel that big in the United States that happened in the United States, but it's a bigger story elsewhere? Doesn't seem to happen very much in our sports world.
Yeah, it's a good call. Nothing's really – I mean, I think, like, in terms of the World Cup and stuff like that, because, you know, in terms of the United States, we're so far behind what we think about soccer fandom that I think that we neglect how much the World Cup actually means to countries sometimes. So I think there's that. But, no, I completely agree with you. And – you know, I remember we had the conversation last week where I asked, like, who needs to win this tournament to kind of elevate golf a little bit. We both kind of settled on Bryson DeChambeau, which made a lot of sense from, you know, changing the sport, what it looks like, you know, changing the goals of hitting that long ball and all that stuff. But at the same time, I think that at least my answer with the reason I said it, it came from a selfish standpoint of, like, well, what's going to bring me to it? Okay. I need Bryson DeChambeau to win. Matsuyama didn't even cross my mind because, once again, selfishly, I'm thinking about my own needs here. But when we think about the global perspective of things, and, like, listen, I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure how big in golf it is Japan. Like, I know, like, the women's PGA Tour, it's pretty big with a lot of Japanese golfers that are successful. But, like, I don't know overall from the brand of how big it is. But to me, it almost feels like, you know, and basketball has always been big in China. But I felt like when Yao Ming got drafted to the Rockets, and you have, like, this larger-than-life guy, and, you know, he comes in right away and does pretty well for himself. Like, to me, Yao Ming put a whole brand of basketball on his back and spread the word to an already popular sport probably in China. And, like, he helped elevate it. I feel like that's what Matsuyama can do exactly right here for the sport of golf, where maybe it's big, maybe it's growing, but now him winning that green jacket, I believe he's the first Japanese-born guy to do that. It just adds to it. It just helps grow that sport. And obviously, when you talk about global, that's huge. So, yeah, I think it was a big win for golf in general, and obviously a big win for Japan as well.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's massive. And so much so, Austin, I can't sit here and tell you, like, I understand that concept of how big it is, but I can't really even give you an analogy of what it means because I think it's that big. Like, I really do. I think, who was it in the broadcast? Was it Faldo, maybe, that said it's going to mean like $1 billion to Hideki Matsuyama? Like, that's how big of a win this will be in an endorsement and everything
I was going to say, like, what are they, like, up endorsements and stuff? Okay.
Yeah. Like, that's how, like, he will become, like, this national hero because of the win. Mm-hmm. But a Japanese man winning a major and winning the Masters, you know? And, again, Hideki Matsuyama has been heralded for quite some time. He's been a fantastic golfer for a long time. So to break through in this context, I understand it. I really do, but I have a hard time kind of relaying it because there's not many examples like this. Again, soccer's a good example, but I guess what would have to happen is, like, when soccer in the World Cup is played on American soil in the States and another country wins it and they're going crazy and we're like, hey, congratulations. You know?
Sure.
That's what – because in football, we celebrate more than anybody the Super Bowl champ. in Major League Baseball. I think Japan and other countries, Cuba, celebrate probably the World Series champ, but not more than we do.
It'd be like in the Winter Olympics, like if Canada won, the men's hockey gold medal. Like I think if the USA won, we'd be pretty excited about it, right? Or even, for instance, if a Canadian team wins the Stanley Cup, I feel like that's going to be a lot bigger of a big deal.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah,
you're right about that. I don't know if we fully understand. We get it that it's big. That's a good call right there.
Yeah.
But do we fully understand that when Montreal wins the Stanley Cup,
or Toronto,
or Toronto, or Vancouver, or it's a way bigger deal, Calgary, than when the Pittsburgh
Penguins win it, and you got about 20 people there just to take pictures and selfies.
Yeah,
downtown.
no, that's a good call. Like Canadian hockey versus American hockey, there is still a big difference.
Of course,
right? I mean, is that fair?
No, it's absolutely fair. I like hockey myself, but you can't deny, in terms of priorities and in terms of fandom, I think that our neighbors up north have us beat for the most part.
Let me give you a little bit. You made me think now, and I like when you do that. And so here's what I would say and try to put this in context. This is hey, congratulations to Hideki Matsuyama. You played great. You won the Masters. You got the green jacket for everybody over here. Over there, it's like parades, $1 billion endorsements, this flood of youth that will turn on to golf probably because of Hideki Matsuyama. I would say it's like if the Montreal Canadiens had like a 50-year drought of Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
By the way, what is their drought? It's probably pretty lengthy at this moment.
I know. I think Toronto might be the biggest one.
Do they have the biggest drought?
Let me check it out quick. Yeah,
So it's like them, maybe. I think that's a great comp. Like, I think you got me thinking in the right direction. Montreal, they've had so much success, so that probably isn't a good one. But Toronto might be.
So if we're talking about longest droughts, the Maple Leafs has been 52 seasons.
Oh, yeah. So I think that's a good one. Now, what's interesting about Toronto, and I've never been there, okay? And it's become like this Americanized city, hasn't it? Like, I mean, it feels like it almost feels like the United States, how big that city is.
Yeah, I mean, it's very diverse. Like, I've never been there myself, but like, I mean, like when you have Drake representing it, like it's kind of like the cool spot to be, it seems like, in Canada.
Yeah, and so does that take away, because it's probably very transient, does that take away from how much like the hockey and Toronto winning would mean? Because, again, there's so many transient people that have moved to Toronto.
Sure. No, I get what you're saying here, but Toronto is one of the original teams, Brent. You know what I'm saying? Like they started from scratch. So like the history and the rich tradition, like it would be like talking about like the Yankees or somebody in terms of baseball. So no, I think that the fandom is definitely still there just because they've been around forever.
I like what you did here. I think I've been thinking about this all day.
Sure.
And trying to figure out, like,
you should just ask me, man.
I guess so.
Should just ask me.
Somebody asked me, or we were talking about it, and on the golf course today, and they gave a decent analogy, but we can't even figure out what it would be like because, but they said, what if Tiger Woods hadn't won a major yet after like 20 years or 15 years, and then he won one? Yeah. That's what it would be like for Hideki Matsuyama. I was like, okay, that makes sense to me. Like, you're probably right, but it's so far-fetched that, like, it's unimaginable. Tiger Woods won so many, So, like, it's unimaginable. I think what you just said there is a really good one. I think hockey is that way, and we love golf.
Yep.
But I don't know if we appreciate how much other people like golf around the globe. We love hockey. Some of us do, and some more than others. But do we fully appreciate how much they love hockey in Canada? And I really like where you went there because I think that is accurate. The reason why soccer doesn't work is because there are a lot of passionate people about soccer.
That's true.
But I think it's less in the United States. Like, I think the gap between soccer fandom here in the United States and soccer fandom across the pond and other places in the world is massive.
Mm-hmm.
Like the football gap between us and everybody else.
Agreed.
So to me, it's not as apples to apples. I mean, we really do we're a closer gap when it comes to hockey, I think, and there's a closer gap when it comes to golf. And that's why I think this analogy works. But I've heard that. I knew we were going to hear, hey, it's boring, it's Matsuyama, it's, but it's really not for golf. You got to understand, this is an important win for golf across the globe, and golf has become a global sport, maybe more than any of them, quite frankly. I mean, they are doing well on the PGA Tour because of the global nature of golf. I say become, it's always been one, we know, but I think they've hit a home run on the global level in terms of the marketing dollars, the TV, the web deals that they've made outside of the United States are huge, and I think that's why it fits. By the way, next golf tournament, now we go to the PGA Championship in May, and I think the guy that did steal the show is Will Zalatoris. We'll keep an eye on him. He's not even a full-time member out on the PGA Tour, and he finished top 20 at the Players' Championship, finished, I think, 6th at the U.S. Open in 2020, and now he's finished 2nd at the Masters. We might have a new star in golf, which is something to keep an eye on as well.
Is he the one that everyone was tweeting looked like the caddy from?
Yep, absolutely, yeah. And even Adam Sandler hit him up too as well, so that was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Hey, let's shift focus back to some football. Florida State spring game. Not sure if you caught it, read up on it, saw some highlights of it, did all that stuff. Overall, a win. You can't lose the spring game, Austin.
No, you can't lose the spring game. I feel like you can probably only win the spring game.
Yeah, and I think Florida State did it. I think Mackenzie Milton's performance, first impression, was good. I think Malik McClain, the receiver, is going to be somebody people are talking about in Tallahassee. So I think that's good to have talking points.
Yeah.
They have. Where does Florida State go is fascinating over the next handful of months. It's a massive year, you would think, for Mike Norvell, but I probably didn't give as much credence to this as we were talking about the Florida State spring game going into the weekend as I do coming out of it. You have to remember, Mike Norvell never got the spring last year. Mm-hmm. And while I think the spring is overrated, for a guy who's a new coach, the spring probably has a ton of value to it. And so I think this was a big deal for Norvell and the program and the step they take. They've got quarterbacks to pick from. And by the way, Chubba Purdy has now been cleared medically to participate in summer workouts. So they've got quarterbacks that you could kind of like and rally around on top of everything else. I think this is a good time for Florida State, and it's going to be an interesting fall coming up in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the biggest story still is Mackenzie Milton. And that's kind of, to me, what's been missing with Florida State the most, right? I mean, we talk about the offensive line play, the past years, and sometimes the coaching decisions and all this stuff, and sometimes guys not being on the same page, whether it's on the field or in the locker room. But having a great quarterback can help ease all that other stuff. And once again, if Mackenzie Milton can turn back the time a little bit and show what he did at UCF, then I think you got a special one there. Florida State's been waiting for that quarterback. Now, there's been hype, and there's been some big-name guys, per se, coming out of high school going there. There's been some transfers and all this stuff, but there still is yet to be like that guy that you can rest your hat on and say, all right, this guy's going to be the dude for the next couple years. I think Mackenzie Milton, at least for this year, can be that guy.
Well, and Austin, I guess I get more of a feel, again, I just got to admit to everybody, I put a lot of stock into spring game guy. I just not. I mean, we're talking about 12-minute quarters, and we're not even talking about a game anymore. There's so much that's kind of choreographed in these things. But I do think this had value for Mackenzie Milton is the story. And a good positive story out of Tallahassee is important. Don't sleep on that. It's been a miserable few years. I mean, from the end of Jimbo Fisher to the just awful run of Willie Taggart, to their economic issues that have been talked about, to Mike Norvell last year wasn't good. It wasn't good either. Mm-hmm. So if you think about all that they've been through, and just to have the Milton story is big for them, I think just on a positive story that we get to read about Florida State front. And then if he does perform, and he did some good things in that game, and then you have Jordan Travis, who looks like he's getting better and is a super athlete, and then maybe Chubba Purdy gets healthy and is in the mix somewhere. Now you have stuff, because if you feel like you have a quarterback, then you feel like you got a chance. So I just think the overall feel. Now, you could say break down the defensive front, break down the linemen, and what do they got to have at receiver, and there's some things to like about running back. Again, I don't like getting carried away with that stuff in the spring game, but I just think there's finally a good feeling around Florida State football. I don't know if it's yet momentum, Austin. I think there's a difference in that. But I think there's finally a good feeling where we get some positive stories out of Tallahassee, which I know that sounds like that's what we're here for. It sounds a little bit moral victory-like, but after the last handful of years, yeah, I think that's kind of a big deal at FSU.
Yeah, and once again, to me, it comes down to the quarterback position. I can't stress it enough. I think there's some universities out there that sometimes can get by with just okay quarterback play. I mean, like the Wisconsin Badgers always come to mind for me because, like if you're a Badgers fan, you're not watching per se. Well, the quarterback's important, yes. But, they still have that run game. They have a solid offensive line to hang their hat on, and that's going to be okay. If you have a great quarterback, that's a bonus. But you feel like with the speed that Florida has and the weapons and the dynamic playmakers that Florida State has, and then also Norvell coming from Memphis where, it is kind of this run and gun spread kind of offense. You need to run that through the quarterback. So if you have that guy, it'll make all the difference in the world. So to me, there's a lot more optimism because once again, you have a guy coming from UCF who put up big-time numbers. And I don't care, who he played against and, like, what you see on film. By the way, Brent, we've watched the tape. We've checked the tape. We've seen UCF before, and we've seen Mackenzie Milton shine. If he can go back in time and do that, then Florida State's going to have a good, I think, a next couple of years.
Yeah, and we've got plenty of time to talk about this. What does good mean in 2021? I'm not quite sure yet, but we got plenty of time before we get to the start of the season. We talk about FSU football and where do they have to fit going through that schedule. What's it got to look like? I think the actual record says one thing. What it looks like kind of says another thing, and we'll talk about that. But I think it's kind of a big year. It's not a big year in the sense that, hey, he's going to be done. I mean, they got no money over there. Mike Norvell's going to be there for a bit. But I do think to taking a big step. You always said, everybody says it's like kind of a cliche in sports, year 1 to year 2. Well, here's year 1 to year 2 for Mike Norvell. What kind of leap can he make at FSU? Florida State, we want them to be good. We're the home for Florida State football and basketball here on ESPN 690. And a big announcement today, we're the home of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp now as well, partnering up with the Jumbo Shrimp, AAA affiliate of the Miami Marlins. You can hear more than 90 games right here on ESPN 690 as baseball season kicks off around here on May 4th. And you can listen to all the games streaming on ESPN690.com. Let's go to the phones real quick before we break. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. South Beach Gary on the line. Happy Monday, man.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. A couple things, please. First of all, in the Masters, I know it was big for Japan, but it was just very anticlimactic to me because you didn't have those Sunday roars or a big name, rising up the leaderboard. It just didn't carry the excitement to me that a lot of Masters have in the past. And one other thing, guys, I was listening to a podcast that Adam Schefter had with Najee Harris, and it was about a half-hour interview. And Najee Harris must have been bleeped about 10 times during that interview. Could that have any effect on an NFL team? They get wind of that. And I'm not approved by any means, believe me. But that kind of language, could that hurt a guy's draft stock if teams get wind of that?
South Beach Gary, appreciate it, man. Interesting. I'll say this about the Masters real quick, and then I want you to ask you about that. I agree with South Beach Gary from a playing standpoint. I just said to some folks out here, I didn't think it was a well-played Masters. Here's the thing about Augusta, okay, and this is easy for me to say, Mr. 10 handicapper, but these guys are really good, and I just thought they played poorly for the most part. That's a golf course that they all know. They play it all the time. And, heck, Will Zalatoris doesn't know it, and he played well, obviously, because he came in second place. And more first-timers are playing well there because they've seen it on TV so many times. They've heard Tiger Woods say, hey, this is where you got to hit it. They've heard other guys. They've seen other guys. So I think more first-timers play there. But the guys that have played there a bunch, I think they just played poorly. They didn't make enough putts. Yeah, it was a little crispier around the greens. I mean, it was different than November. But I just didn't think they played well. So I kind of agree with South Beach Gary in the sense that where were you guys? Where was Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth on the front nine? And why did Schauffele struggle so much on the front nine? Like, where were these guys to come chase Matsuyama, put some pressure on him so he could feel all that pressure of an entire country? Well, it didn't really happen until he had a 5-shot lead, and by then it was too late. So I think it's a big win, like you said, South Beach Gary, but I don't disagree with you in terms of the golf. I thought the golf was somewhat poor for their standards around Augusta most of the weekend. Again, easy for me to say. I understand. It's I'm not telling you that I would have shot 82, okay? But I just think by their standards it wasn't the best golf by so many of them, especially in critical moments. Now for the swearing part from Najee Harris. That's an interesting question, Austin. How many F-bombs did you drop during interviews or podcasts back in the day in the draft hunt?
It depends what kind of podcast I'm on, man. As far as the interviews, I swore all the time. And like in terms of like the meetings, yeah, why not? I mean,
did you?
Yeah, I mean, not like a sailor, but yeah, I mean, it's usually how I talk. Like, I don't know. Like, I hadn't listened to the interview with Najee Harris, so I don't know exactly what transpired. But I'm gonna say this: if you've ever been to an NFL training camp before, and you've had that sideline access, and you listen to individual drills and what the coaches say, 9 times out of 10 there's gonna be some foul language. So if you mean to tell me that GMs, scouts, coaches have a problem with how Najee Harris, and once again, I don't know the language that he used. If we're just talking about regular cursing and, not derogatory language offending anybody, then no, it's not going to be an issue because that language is used all around in the locker room, whether it's by players, whether it's by coaches. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, I have a hard time. I'm actually writing this now, and as I'm kind of listening to you and I listen to South Beach Gary ask the question, I kind of like the question. But if a player uses bad language on a podcast, would that be a red flag to NFL teams? And as I write that and tweet that out and share that, I'll be interested to see what people say. But my guess is going to be, what are you talking about? No, they won't care. And I would agree. I don't think they care. I think it is a little bit the nature kind of sports, not really just the NFL. I think some people use curse words and the language, and some people don't. Some people are turned off by the language, but most people aren't. I can't imagine that would be much of a red flag for any team. It wouldn't be for me. I think it's just the way it is. This is not an interview setting where you're sitting there in a three-piece suit trying to get a CEO gig. Right, Austin?
No.
I mean, you're not going to swear in that setting. Most likely you're not swearing in that setting.
Now, some guys want to wear a three-piece suit, and that's fine as well. But no, you're all good to go.
Yeah, it's just so different when we think of the interview process. I would be stunned. Now, maybe it does turn somebody off. I would be stunned, though, because here's what I would quickly say. Go back and look at that tape.
Check the tape, everybody.
Yeah, check the tape and tell me what kind of language you're using while you're watching that tape.
Exactly.
So, an interesting question, though, but I just don't think overall it would. And I think that way in any sport, really, and not just the NFL. I just don't think that would bother any GM, coach, or anybody else. All right, we take a break. Shock Your Mock is coming up next. Oh, what kind of mood is Austin in on a Monday? Can't wait to find out. We're live at Jacksonville Golf and Country Club Child Cancer Fund Golf Tournament, raising money for the kids here in a
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A mix of sun and clouds today, but temperatures reach the low 80s again. Will be mostly clear tonight, overnight in the upper 50s. Sunny and warm tomorrow, back to 85 degrees. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Beedenball.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Don't miss the buy one, get one free on wedding bands through the 25th.
Hi, I'm here reporting from one of the vaccine locations, and we're asking people today why they decided to get vaccinated. Ma'am, why are you getting the vaccine?
Why am I getting the vaccine? So that I can go back to church.
The COVID vaccine is a safe and proven way to get our lives back to normal. This is why the Florida Division of Emergency Management partnered with local community leaders to create Vax904.com. Visit Vax904.com or call 357-0892 to get more information.
Hey, boss. Hey. Oh, yeah, so I've been meaning to ask you, how's your mom like a new smartphone?
She loves it. Got like 5,000 pictures of her cat already.
And how's the Safe Touch security app working?
Now, that thing's amazing. Anytime she goes somewhere, she can just open up the app and check on her house.
That's why they say, with Safe Touch, you're never home alone and you're never away from home.
Yeah, the other day she was at the nail salon when she opened up the Safe Touch app and caught Mr. Tinkles living up to his name.
Wow. Never away from home. You know, I miss the good old days of casing a house so you know when the owners are away.
Yeah, well, with Safe Touch, those days are gone.
Good for your mom, bad for us crooks.
Just another reason to stick to the Crooks R Us golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. Simple as a flip phone.
crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
They just don't make them like they used to.
People say that a lot, and sometimes it's true, but not for air conditioners. Manufacturers actually make them better than they used to. It's just that local AC companies don't install them like they ought to. Old school rules of thumb and yesterday's shortcuts simply sabotage new school systems. Can new technology give you more comfort with longer service life? Only if the AC tech knows how to properly engineer it for your home and how to install it right. So techs that don't understand inverters, low voltage controls, and how to configure the software, dip switches, and refrigerant charge for Florida humidity, they'll totally turn it into turd buckets, especially if they just do a swap the box install without fixing your ductwork and airflow. My point, the better the technology, the more important the install. At Griffith Service, we fix what others can't, but it's best to have us install it right from the beginning. So if your new system ain't working right or your old one needs replacing, call
GriffinService.com.
1250-697. In the know, I'm Smitha Rao. As the coronavirus pandemic continues throughout the fall and winter, overlapping with flu season, Dr. Eduardo Sanchez, American Heart Association Chief Medical Officer for Prevention, says that getting a flu vaccine is more important than ever.
The flu is serious and can even cause death. If you get the flu right now, you may need to be hospitalized in an already overwhelmed healthcare system. Get your flu shot and stay out of the hospital due to the flu.
It is important for everyone to get a flu vaccine, but especially important for seniors, children, pregnant women, and people with underlying risk factors such as heart disease, stroke, and diabetes.
The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and you can get it at places that are taking extra safety measures like your doctor's office, pharmacy, or even community pop-up centers. As with COVID-19, wearing a mask, washing your hands often, and social distancing helps to prevent the spread of the flu.
For more, go to heart.org/flu prevention.
Sponsored locally by Florida Blue.
Spring savings are popping at Beard's Diamonds.
Buy one, get one is back at Beard's.
No other jewelry store in North Florida can match it. Buy any band and get the other band free. Yes, it's a buy one, get one free on wedding bands.
Going on now
through the 25th.
And only at Beard's Diamonds. Beard's has brought in cases of inventory with the latest styles from the hottest designers just for this sale.
It's the largest selection of men's and women's wedding bands in North Florida. Buy any wedding band and get the other band free.
If you're getting married soon or want to upgrade your wedding bands, now is the time during Beard's Buy One, Get One sale. But hurry.
The Buy One, Get One sale ends on the 25th. Shop hundreds of designs at beardsdiamonds.com.
Now you can go bigger and better with the setting she's always dreamed of during Beard's Buy One, Get One sale.
Get the lowest prices in Jacksonville. Guaranteed at Beard's Diamonds.
At the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Hi, I'm here reporting from one of the vaccine locations, and we're asking people today why they decided to get vaccinated. Sir, why are you getting the vaccine?
Why am I getting the vaccine? Because I would like to hug my grandchildren.
The COVID vaccine is a safe and proven way to get our lives back to normal. This is why the Florida Division of Emergency Management partnered with local community leaders to create Vax904.com. Visit Vax904.com or call 357-0892 to get more information.
Smoothie King is blending goodness to fuel your greatness. They make sure every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses whole fruits and only organic veggies. You'll never find any sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives in the smoothies. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of the blends. Skip the line and place your order online now at smoothieking.com for contactless pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day. There is a taste of the islands in every drop of Vida de Luis tequila, imported directly from Tequila, Mexico to Jacksonville Beach. Vida de Luis is the only locally owned tequila in Jax Beach. Support local and try Vida de Luis, award-winning, smooth, all natural, no aldehydes or additives, which means wake up feeling good the next morning. Find out where you can pick up a bottle of Vida de Luis, Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. Just visit VitaDeLuis.com. Support local and taste the islands in every drop.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It is the home of the Action Sports Jack's Dream 18, and make it your home course as well. The golf club at Southampton in North St. Johns County, located off County Road 210. It's family-owned and operated. Southampton is a fun course to play, and the golf club at Southampton offers club membership programs starting at just $79. With its elite practice facilities and player-friendly golf course design, it'll be your gateway to a great time with the family or with your buddies. For information on the membership programs, call the golf club at Southampton, 904-287-PLAY. Again, it's 904-287-PLAY.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Boss! Crooks R Us just put out a special bulletin about Safe Touch security.
Special bulletin about Safe Touch? Oh, this is gonna fire up my ulcer, I know it.
Boss, the headline says, Safe Touch Security has announced their new advanced video surveillance system.
Oh, here it comes.
Oof, this is huge. It's a multi-camera interior and exterior professional surveillance system with 24/7 video storage.
Great. Just what we need is Safe Touch up in their game again.
Boss, this is next level. I think Fort Knox would be jealous of this thing.
Deep breaths. They can keep their fancy camera system. It doesn't change the Crooks R Us golden rule one bit. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Nope, doesn't change it, but it sure underlines it.
Just get me a glass of milk, will you?
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Slip and falls can be embarrassing, leaving you in pain and feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After a fall, document the scene by taking photographs and make sure to get medical attention for any injuries you may have. If you've been injured in a slip and fall accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Brent Martineau.
But we could really take this show off the rails if we wanted to go all like half politics, half sports.
Austin Lane.
I mean, have you been on Twitter lately? Do you want extra $100,000? Do you want a scholarship? Let's go politics when we get back here.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Their expectations, how high they should be for Trevor Lawrence in year one.
Well, listen, I don't know what to make of this. What I can tell you is that in the interest of full disclosure, I don't give a damn about the Jacksonville Jaguars. I've never thought much about them.
Okie dokie, Stephen A. Smith.
That's all you're going to say is okie dokie?
I mean, is that really that surprising coming out of Stephen A. Smith's mouth? I mean, he talks about New York and L.A. and the Dallas Cowboys sometimes. I mean, that's all he talks about. I mean,
so we go to war with Jets media saying like how bad we are, but then Stephen A. Smith says something. We got to keep our mouths shut.
Yeah, Jets media felt a little bit more genuine. Stephen A. Smith's right there felt I want to get clicks and.
Well, dude, okay.
And like Jets media felt I'm just better than you. Stephen A. Smith, like I said, I mean, he's supposed to say stuff that will provoke people to then say Stephen A. Smith.
Well,
I
then,
can't believe you said that.
I guess, man. And congratulations, Stephen A. Smith, mission accomplished, because obviously you said that, and that kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. And I will take that as disrespectful. And I'm not sure how much I can really rag on somebody that works for ESPN since we are under the ESPN banner. But guess what, Stephen A. Smith? Nobody asked you about your opinion about the Jacksonville Jaguars. What she asked you was your opinion about Trevor Lawrence. So I don't need to hear, well, I don't like the Jags. No, hey, it's your job to talk about teams, all right? So just talk about the teams. Share us your opinion about Trevor Lawrence going to Jacksonville. That's all we need. I don't need to hear your feelings about, well, I've never cared about the Jags. Good, fantastic. Nobody asked. Just like I don't care what you say about MMA stuff because you're insufferable. But I man up and I get through it, even though my ears are bleeding. Man up and answer the question. You don't got to give your feelings about everything.
Well, I mean, he does give his feelings about a lot of things.
But hey, isn't it your job to talk about the NFL? Isn't it your job to answer questions about quarterbacks going to new teams?
Here's what the beauty about Stephen A. Smith's comments are right there. The hope is, around here in Jacksonville, is that in 3 years, Stephen A. Smith will give a damn about the Jacksonville Jaguars because he's going to have to talk about them from 10 to noon on his show. Because they're going to have to talk about Trevor Lawrence. They're going to have to talk about the success of the Jaguars. Going to have to talk about the Jags winning and maybe winning big. That's the hope, right? I mean, it's people like Stephen A. Smith that you're going to have to talk about them whether you like them or not. You can't, when you're 1-15, it's easy to say that.
But no, this is the problem though with national media. Is that, and I don't call everybody out because I think a lot of people out there have been great with how they've covered the Jacksonville Jaguars. But when the Jaguars are good, it means it's more work from you. And the reason why you don't want to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, not because they didn't do anything bad to you, or not because you're a Cowboys fan, or whoever Stephen A. Smith is, and the Jaguars are not a rival. Like, the only reason why he's talking bad about them is because you don't want to do homework about them. It's one less team that you have to go over on Google and type their names in when they're not relevant. But all of a sudden they're relevant, and now you got to do a little extra homework. Now you got to go, okay, who do they have on their team? What are they all about? Who are their players? What kind of scheme do they run? How good are they this year? It's extra homework. And if you don't want to do the homework, that's fine. But I promise you, there's going to be young and upstart people coming for your job that are willing to do the homework. And eventually they will get their say.
Yeah, I think that is fair amongst the national media. The Jags have put themselves in a forgettable position, and therefore that's why people have talked about London so much with not a lot of context, or the fan base with not a lot of context. And maybe this will change that too. I mean, you're going to have to get on the radar because people across the country are going to talk about Trevor Lawrence. So you might want to hit that Google up. And I don't think you're wrong on that.
No, and listen, Stephen A. Smith's doing a lot better than I am. The $10 million per year in his bank account would signify that. And obviously he gets eyes to all the sports mediums and things like that. So he's doing a fantastic job of what he does. But I'm just saying, if you want to be an NFL analyst, and I'm not talking to Stephen A. Smith, I'm talking to anybody that's above me, that makes a lot more money than me, and a lot of the people that work hard out there. If you want to be an NFL analyst, that's great. But eventually you better do your homework because there's other people out there that are trying to come for your jobs that are doing their homework in every single team and that can have a legitimate conversation without bringing feelings into it because I don't follow the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, maybe Stephen A. Smith will do a mock draft in the next couple of weeks
he's banned.
Shock his mock. It's not Stephen A. Smith, it's somebody else. Let's get to it.
He is none other than the Shock Master!
Gonna shock yo mock! We're gonna shock yo mock!
Brutality, don't you think?
Shocking. Gonna shock yo mock! We're gonna shock yo mock!
Shocking upset.
I feel shocked. Shock yo mock! We're gonna shock yo mock!
I am shocked. I am shocked. That's what I mean. I am.
All righty. Well, Stephen A. Smith might have just got Austin Lane riled up, or maybe just Austin Lane is riled up on a Monday.
We'll
find out. Shock your mock time. Who we got?
All right, let's get into it. Real quick, though, the Shock Your Mock NFT will be coming when Trevor Lawrence gets drafted. Asking price of around $20,000. I accept Venmo, PayPal, whatever you want. This isn't original, everybody, and it's a part of history because one day when Shock Your Mock goes worldwide and we're shocking, I don't know, MLS drafts and NHL drafts and maybe WNBA drafts, you name the draft beers, I don't care, man. We're going to be shocking it all. And you can say that you have a piece of the original Shock Your Mock song created by me, obviously. Be on the lookout for that NFT, Brent. It's coming to, I guess, the internet near you. What would you even say? Where do you? I don't even know where to buy an NFT.
In your neck of the woods.
In your neck of the woods. Hey, check your local listings. But today, we are featured a Shock Your Mock segment by Sean Bonde. Bonde? At Sean2234. Now, once again, Brent, you know me, right? Got to do the due diligence. Got to do the homework to make sure this guy checks out. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little confused by this dude. I did a background check on him. His profile picture on Twitter. We got a Washington Wizards John Wall jersey underneath a Ray Lewis statue in Baltimore. Nothing Jaguars, not at all. Now, there's some Jaguars retweets every once in a while I see him post, but a lot of Washington Wizards stuff, which, I mean, this could be the first Washington Wizards fan we've ever had on the show.
Yes,
so this is groundbreaking right now. Is this guy a Jaguars fan? Not sure. Does he want a free T-shirt? Well, who doesn't? So let's get into it. Kuz, we ready to go? Let's see that thumb up. The thumb is up, Brent, and we are ready to roll. So he started out by Shock Your Mock, getting a little cocky. You're kind of coming for the title, if you will, by what he said. And he said, and I quote, "No need to show who went number one, Trevor Lawrence." Okay, like the confidence, like the cockiness, but let's be honest. This isn't a fact that he's calling a shot like Babe Ruth or Hamilton the long ball Porter from the Sandlot. The reason why he's calling a shot right now is because he couldn't figure out how to screenshot his entire draft into one thing. So right now, you're off to a bad start. And what was his mistake, Brent? He didn't use the Amazon AWS powered by Daniel Jeremiah, powered by AWS. He used the Pro Football Focus one, which, he used the Draft Network one, which, hey, it's a free-for-all over there, man, okay? I'm not getting paid by them, so it's a free-for-all over there. It is what it is, but he's got Trevor Lawrence number one. We'll get your size later, sir. Pick number two, and now we're getting a little, this is new, Brent. It's new, it's exciting, and it's fresh.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, okay, careful now. We'll see.
I like it.
Okay.
Keep it fresh.
Okay, but he's taking Kwity Paye at number 25, edge rusher from Michigan. Now, I want to hit the depth need alert, Kuz, but hold it, and I understand you're here for 2 days. You have to get your fix in, but not right now. Because is this really a depth need alert? We're talking about Kwity Paye, edge rusher. Look at the numbers. Yes, he's got the quarterback a little bit, but here's my issue with Kwity Paye. And I don't care what the 40-yard dash says, probably a 4.3, knowing how Michigan cheats. But this guy is 6'4", 277 pounds. All right? So, in my opinion, he's big enough to play like a 3 technique in a 3-4 defense, and he's too big to play outside linebacker. And as the draft experts, when they talk about him, say he's got to get more sand in his pants. By the way, draft experts out there, I don't want to put anybody on blast. I don't think Daniel Jeremiah says this. Can we change the adjective of he's got to put more sand in his pants?
I kind of like it.
Of course you do. Of course you do. And, yeah, and there it is, everybody. And now we're off the rails. As if Stephen A. Smith didn't make me angry enough, now Brent is co-signing the phrase sand in your pants when you talk about a defensive lineman that has to gain more weight.
It's a good visual, man.
Brent, I seriously can't with you right now, Kuz. You got a button over there? Mute his mic if you have to. That's all I'm going to say. We are not... On behalf of the ESPN 690, we are not going to tolerate Stephen A. Smith disrespecting our city, and we're not going to tolerate Brent Martineau saying sand in your pants is a cool phrase, because it's not. All right, pick number 33. Once again, a little fresh, a little different. But is fresh and different the right thing right now for the Jacksonville Jaguars? Terrence Marshall, wide receiver, LSU. I did some research, Brent. Watched the film, checked the tape. The NFL comparison, and this is according to NFL.com, say no more. The NFL comparison right now is John Dotson. I know what you're saying. Who's John Dotson? Well, guess what? I did some research on him as well. He's that guy that played for Washington for a couple of years that, like, you didn't draft in fantasy football, but then it's like week 6, week 7, and all your receivers are on IR, and it's like, oh, this guy's doing okay. Let me take John Johnson. And you take him, and he does pretty well for 4 weeks, and then your receivers get healthy, and then you put him back on the bench, and then you cut him. That's who Dotson is.
Did he wear number 10?
I don't know, man. He's on Minnesota now, is all
I'm
I know.
going to check. He's still playing?
I guess.
Okay.
I guess. So that's who we're dealing with now, according to NFL.com. There's this guy's a boomer bust type of player. 1 second for a quick sip of water.
No problem. By the
Thank
way,
you, man.
While you're sipping water, Daniel Jeremiah is scheduled to join the show again on Wednesday, so be careful what you say.
Hey, we'll see. So with Terrence Marshall Jr., here's the problem with boomer bust. It's pick 33, okay? First pick of the second round. This guy in 2019 was the third-string wide receiver because he's playing behind Jefferson. And who's the other guy that's going to go top 5?
Jamar Chase.
Thank you very much, Jamar Chase. So you didn't get a really chance to see a lot of the sample size. Now, this year he had to be the guy because, Jamar Chase, sat out, and then Jefferson was drafted. So while he was in, he had the consecutive games of over 100 yards. That was good. But there's a lot of boomer bust to this guy. I'm not sure at pick number 33. I think in terms of speed, he's got that. He can be a dynamic playmaker, but to me, he offers a lot what DJ Chark can offer. And is it the home run ball? I'm not sure. Pick number 45, Javon Holland. I've said a lot about this dude. There's not much more to say. In my opinion, he's a little undersized right now. Do you put him at corner? Do you put him at safety? Pick 65 is fair. Pick 45 is fair for the safety. And by the way, Q's, get that draft need alert on there. Let's go ahead and sprinkle it off with a little draft need alert. Boom, draft need alert. And guess
back
what?
to backers.
Yep, keep stealing my teasers. Then we got back-to-back Brevin Jordan draft need alert. Q's hit it. Sorry, I'm flustered. And then hit the off the rails button again because Brent's doing my job. There it is. Boom. We're off the rails. There's a lady in the background screaming because we're going off the rails. But listen, if you get Javon Holland and Brevin Jordan, I understand that the whole Brevin Jordan thing, is he the most polished tight end right now? No. Do I want to see Pat Frymuth in this spot or a little higher? Possibly. Do I like to do the Pat Frymuth, stat of the day, the fun fact of the day? Absolutely. Brevin Jordan, fun fact of the day? He's fast. He's athletic. There's your fun fact of the day for Brevin Jordan. Pick number 106, Marvin Wilson. We talked about this dude a lot, and being the official station of Marvin Wilson, we like to see him come to Jacksonville, being a Florida State Seminole and all. I think he can definitely do great depth there. A guy that kind of underachieved his last year with a lot to prove. With the right mindset, with the right coaching, this guy can shine. 106, it could be just a tad bit high, but I'm not mad at it. Pick 130. Brent, how I feel about this guy. Chuba Hubbard. Cool name. Cool running back, can kind of do it all, if you will. A nice compliment to James Robinson. I like this pick a lot. At pick 130. Now,
I'm going to call him Chuba if he ends up here. I just want to call him Chuba rather than Chuba for some reason.
Is it Chuba or Chuba? I should probably establish that. Okay, it is Chuba. Yeah, because I watched the tape. So it's Chuba Hubbard. Dynamic, fast, can be a receiver out of the backfield. Like this pick a lot. Pick 145, Rodarius Williams. Pick 170. And this, to me, besides the Chuba Hubbard pick, might be the pick of the draft. Shaka Tooney. Now, I'm not going to lie. I don't have any stats on this guy. He's from Penn State. I know that. But just a really cool name. Shaka Tooney. And when we talk about, and I get it, Austin, it's just a name. Well, there's guys like Takeo Spikes, DeBrickshaw Ferguson. When you got a cool name guy, you can go for Ronan Lane. Like, when you got the cool names like that, you're destined for greatness. I think Shaka Tooney is destined for greatness. And then Sean Davis at the safety spot, rounding everything out. Let's be honest here. The back end, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks, not too shabby. Right? Almost appears like you know what you're talking about. Almost appears like you're not a Washington Wizards fan. But those first couple picks, when we got Kwity Paye, who you have nowhere to put him, man. Okay? He's going to be in the corner. And guess what? Someone's got to put Baby in the corner, I guess, because he's not an outside linebacker and he's not a 3 technique. Needs to get more. And for the last time I'm going to say this, sand in his pants. And then you get Terrence Marshall Jr., who, okay, but there's other speed options there, other slot guys there, and Javon Holland. You know how I feel about that. I mean, that could be the worst starting three I've ever seen in my entire life for Shock Your Mock. So you went above and beyond here. Maybe stick to your Washington Wizards message boards or your Baltimore Ravens message boards, because once again, I'm so confused why you're rocking a Wizards jersey next to a Ray Lewis statue. I'm not even lying. If you have this on a big screen TV, go really close to this picture. You can see Sean Bonde stand next to Ray Lewis. I have no idea. I'm confused. This mock draft is confusing, but most importantly, it sucks. But let's get the guy a t-shirt anyways, Brent. Yeah. And you know what to do. Compliments of Shakatone and Shaka Your Mock.
Yes, Sean, your mock has been shocked, but we appreciate the freshness of your shocking mock.
Yes, but it's trash, though. Infectious in all the worst ways. Like, honestly,
Shaka Sean.
We better reach out to Pfizer right now. Is it Pfizer? Yeah, better reach out to Pfizer right now and get us some kind of shot for this, because it's infectious in all the worst ways. It's a crappy mock draft. I don't feel that good. My tummy's rumbly. Pfizer, let's go. Let's get that whatever. I said my tummy's rumbly. Oh, yeah, I'm done. Sorry, man. Stephen A. Smith got to me today a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then we got Daniel Jeremiah coming on Wednesday. Like that's gonna happen, and like he wants my wrath right now. What a horrible booking by you, Brent. On a Wednesday, you can wait till Friday when I'm a little more relaxed and I'm a little more deadbeat for the week. You're gonna get Daniel Jeremiah in the heart of the week, in the heart of the schedule. Best of luck to you, Daniel.
Hey, just got to get over that hump day. My tummy is rumbly.
Yeah.
And I've got sand in my shorts. We'll be back on ESPN 690. Football at 5. Trevor Lawrence, number one versus other number ones. Also, 3-4-4-3. Joe Cullen speaks a little bit about that. We got it all on the way. Football at 5 on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 SportsCenter Update.
Happy Monday. I'm Jake Mitchell. The Masters wrapped up yesterday from Augusta, and when the final shot fell in the cup, Hideki Matsuyama was victorious, finishing the weekend at 10 under par. He is also the first ever Japanese man to win a major. Here he is with what that means for Japan.
I can't say if I'm the greatest. However, I'm the first to win a major, and if that's the bar, then I've said it.
And in football news, one of the all-time great Tennessee Titan running backs, Eddie George, will take over as head coach of the Tennessee State Tigers. And Mike Tyson isn't the only boxing legend making a return to the ring. Evander Holyfield will face Kevin McBride on June 5th. Real Deal is 58 years old. The SportsCenter Update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jewell's in St. Augustine at Murabella Crossing. Open 7 days a week. It's old school barbecue. Trivia night on Monday. Kids eat free on Wednesdays. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all of your events. Visit williejewels.com and visit Willie Jewell's at Murabella Crossing in St. Augustine. Old school barbecue, smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
Find just what you're looking for at Arlington Toyota. With over 700 new Toyotas available, Arlington has the model you want, with the features you want, at the price you want. And with every new Toyota purchase, you get Arlington's worry-free 30-day exchange policy and a lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited time and unlimited miles. Shop arlingtontoyota.com or in person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard.
CGC Water has been telling you if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Still not a believer? Well, you can believe me. My family has been a happy CGC Water customer for 4 years now. Customer service is tremendous. We got our water tested. We were told about our options in financing in detail. No pressure, just information. Installation was quick, and the CGC team was there every step of the way. And we absolutely love it. because it works. Heck, I even think my coffee tastes better because of it. And I love my coffee. A Kinetico system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. That's clean. Schedule your free water test today and ask how you can save up to $500. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 for details or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
Stick to your 2021 New Year's resolutions. Commit to fitness with Body Armor Sports Drink. Buy $20 worth of Body Armor products and get $10 in fitness cash to one of your favorite brands by uploading your receipt on bacommittofit.com. Body Armor available at your local Winn-Dixie.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Come celebrate Tire Outlet's Yulee grand opening April 22nd through the 24th. Enter to win a 4x4 ATV or a tire and wheel package. Stop by our Yulee location during our grand opening event to fill out an entry. Tire Outlet. Wholesale prices, premium service.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven. It's time for some straight talk. Sure, saving money feels good, but cutting your wireless bill in half, that feels really good. Like walk-off home run in the 9th inning kind of good. Okay, maybe not that good, but pretty darn good. With Straight Talk, you can get 25 gigs of high-speed data for $45 a month, up to 50% less than the other guys. Plus, no contract. All on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot when you could pay half? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
If you think that you loved what Herbert did, what do you think this kid's going to do? He's a little bit better as far as, his arm strength, or even though Herbert has a big arm. I think he's slightly more athletic and has more speed than Herbert, and Herbert showed a lot of athleticism last year. Herbert lit the league on fire last year. And this kid is every bit the player that Herbert is, if not better. And we think that Zach Wilson, a guy that we haven't seen play any great competition, and we haven't seen succeed, don't know if he can stay healthy, is more ready day one. Those are things that you should get your credentials stripped from.
I think he's talking about Justin Fields relative to everybody else.
He's talking about Trevor Lawrence.
He's talking about Trevor Lawrence.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's interesting that he'd had to. Did I hear that correctly? I mean, he was saying Trevor Lawrence is going to be good. It almost like he was defending Trevor Lawrence, right?
Yeah. Well, I think he was defending Trevor Lawrence in the fact that everyone's talking about Zach Wilson, but with Trevor Lawrence's skill set and everything, it's comparable to Justin Herbert.
Yeah. Well, that's where I thought he was going, and then when he started defending him, I'm like, do we need to defend Trevor Lawrence? He's the unquestioned number one pick, but I guess in the sense of Zach Wilson versus him.
Yeah, but I just think in terms, too, of like how great he's going to be his first year. Like, I mean, he's kind of getting into like, listen, this guy probably has more intangibles than even Justin Herbert does. And look how Justin Herbert did his first year.
Yeah.
Obviously, the difference is the situation that Herbert had in Los Angeles. It was almost perfect in terms of, the weapons that he had at Hunter Henry and the wide receiver position, and even with Austin Eckler in the backfield. Now, Trevor Lawrence has some weapons of his own, but probably not as prominent as Herbert did last year in L.A.
Yeah, that makes some sense. And that was Parker, by the way, right?
Bart Scott.
Oh, that was Bart Scott.
Yeah.
Gosh, he sounded right there. He didn't sound like Bart Scott to me. He sounded just like, and I forget Parker's first name. But, and I don't even know if he's working on
Brent's in
ESPN
shambles
anymore,
right now. He's not even employed by ESPN.
He might not be anymore.
In shambles.
I forget his first name. Somebody will remember it. I'll have to look it up a little bit later.
Tony?
Gosh, right there, he did sound just like him to me, though. Bart Scott. All right. Hey, Trevor Lawrence, speaking of, we've talked a lot about him. Got married this weekend. Had some conversations about the wedding and about Jacksonville already today. Dabo Swinney, you heard from him. My conversation with Dabo Swinney. You'll hear more of that over the next couple of days, couple of weeks. But I had a chance to catch up with Trevor Lawrence's coach from Clemson earlier this morning. Brent Martineau here, Jacksonville Golf and Country Club, home of the Child Cancer Fund golf tournament. I might have to step out to MC something here over the next few minutes in a bit, but Austin Lane and Coos will take it away from there in the Action Sports Jack studios and talk football and maybe WrestleMania most likely. So stay tuned for that. By the way, still can get to ESPN690.com. You can vote for our Honda the Avenues Athlete of the Week. You have until tomorrow to do that. And also, you can purchase a Dream 18 card. I still have not changed the pricing, so it's $69 for another day or so on the Dream 18 card, ESPN690.com. Coos brought up a great topic over the weekend. Thanks for thinking of the show, by the way, unlike Saturday, Coos. You must have been done with your wedding plan, so we appreciate that.
No, I was telling Austin, it was very alcohol fueled.
Hey, Austin.
What's up?
How many times does he come up with a good topic of the show? Maybe he should drink more.
Dude, I mean, we got plenty of bottles in the back here. Just start popping. Let's go. Let's get creative
Yeah,
here.
I guess so. But yeah, we were at the beach Saturday and had a few drinks at a friend's house next to the beach. And while we were there, we were debating Zion and talking about how he's in year 2 but hasn't made the playoffs yet. And he was like the consensus number 1. Mm-hmm. And I said, I wonder, because they may not make it this year. And if they don't, is year 3 like the year you have to make it, or people are going to start having a problem? And then it came up where I was like, well, if the Jags go on, year 3 with Trevor Lawrence, would they be upset that we may or may not have made the playoffs at that point?
Yeah, I think so. Going on, so the first 2 years you don't make the playoffs under Trevor Lawrence.
But he plays like phenomenal. Like Zion's been putting up numbers, but they're just not making the playoffs.
So I think we would get itchy in the sport of football when that happens. I think basketball is a little bit different. You even look at Michael Jordan. It took him a few years to get rolling and the Bulls to get together and build that thing. So I think football does feel a little bit different, Austin, from the quarterback position, answering Kuz's question. I think if you go 2 years and you're not in the playoffs yet, I think people would understand it coming from 1-15, but I think they'd get a little bit itchy going into year 3.
All right, so I guess I did this exercise wrong. Because, what I did was I went to, a couple sports and said, all right, if you want to take the number 1 pick of each sport in a certain year, who does Trevor Lawrence remind you of the most coming out of that sport?
No, so you didn't do it wrong. I think Kuz just – his context of the question was a little bit different, but I like what he just said there.
Yeah.
So no, but I don't think you did it wrong. You can take this any – it's basically let's compare Trevor Lawrence to any of the number 1 picks, the consensus number 1 picks across sports that have come out over the last 15, 20 years.
So I think, with the Zion comparison, does Zion need to win this year, next year? I don't want to speak out of line here, but I feel like it's so much easier to make it in the playoffs as an NBA team than it is an NFL team, right? When we talk about NBA teams, if you have a star player, you should be able to make the playoffs. All right, now maybe you're a 7-8 seed, but if you have that dominant all-star, you should be able to make the playoffs. They should have that much influence on your team. You know, a la like Zion Williamson or a la like John Morant. Like, obviously, when they got to their respective teams, they were elevated. I think football is a little different. Now, Trevor Lawrence is playing the most important spot in football, so the influence is definitely going to be there. But I still feel the need, like he needs to have his defense to have his back. The offensive line still has to block and all this stuff because let's keep in mind, Justin Herbert had a fantastic rookie year. But the record doesn't necessarily reflect that because he wasn't getting help from his defense and because he wasn't really getting help from his offensive line. And the run game kind of went to shambles when Austin Eckler got hurt. So there's a lot more, I guess, factors that go into the NFL game than goes in the NBA game. But I think if we're sitting here in 3 or 4 years, we're not talking about the Jaguars being a playoff caliber team, then yes, I think it will be a disappointment from Trevor Lawrence, just like it could be a disappointment from Zion Williamson.
Yeah, I think that fourth year, what you're saying is especially true. I think year 3 is a little interesting going into year 3, again, coming from the depths of 1-15. But I was kind of like you, Austin. I take a look, and I got to go run an MC this here in a minute, so I'm just going to leave you with this, and you can take over the conversation. But you look at Zion. You look at, like, hockey, Sidney Crosby. You look at Andrew Luck. You look at Ken Griffey Jr., LeBron. You have other guys that didn't do so well, Greg Oden and Elton Brand. And what about Bryce Harper and Dansby Swanson, those kind of guys most recently. Then there's the QBs of Manning, Stafford, Elway, Manning again, Plunkett, Bledsoe. So you really have a lot of guys to go back and say, okay, which category is he going to be like? I said this earlier in the show. If you look at Indianapolis, I really think Jacksonville, where it's at as a city, Jacksonville and the thirst of the fan base and wanting to win. Indianapolis was a mess for a long, long time before Manning got there. And he built the place up. He did so well football-wise. If you look at what Trevor, if I could pick one of those consensus number 1 guys to change not only the organization but the city, I'd love for it to be what Manning did for the Colts. I'm going to go run an MC this. You take it from here.
All right. Well, should we just do my exercise then? Because I thought this is what we're supposed to do.
Sure.
Where we got to.
We can do that.
Whatever, man. All right. So listen. So here's what I did. I went through every single sport like a dummy, I guess, because I spent way too much time on this. But I went through every single sport, and I tried to compare Trevor Lawrence from, obviously the mentality, the skill set, but what he's going to mean to his team, being that first pick. And listen, I could go in a multitude of directions here, but I try to make it reasonable, and I try to make it within the realms of, how much he's going to mean to the city, number 1, but also the talent factor, number 2. So if we're talking about the NBA and who I'm going to relate Trevor Lawrence to in terms of first overall picks, like, yeah, LeBron James would be nice, right? But let's kind of keep it within reason here. Kuz, I want to get your opinion here. To me, it came down to 2 guys. It came down to the guy I ended up not picking was John Wall. The guy I ended up picking was Derrick Rose, 2008 Chicago Bulls first pick of the draft. Because I think Derrick Rose coming out of the draft, like, you know what you're getting. He made that run in the tournament, a high-profile type of cat, a lot of hype around him. But you got the feeling once Derrick Rose got to Chicago that he's going to put the team on his back. Like, it was the Derrick Rose show. So I picked Derrick Rose. Your thoughts, Kuz?
I think Derrick Rose had a lot of hype coming in.
He did.
I'm trying to remember. I keep thinking about John because John Wall had a song about him, so I'm trying to remember.
This is why I picked John Wall. This is why it's between Derrick Rose and John Wall, because John Wall, from a celebrity standpoint, and doing like the flex stance, like he was big time. But I just feel like Derrick Rose and his game and what he meant to the city of Chicago when he first got there. To me, it's Derrick Rose or bust. The other guys I got real quick. So for the NHL and Kuz, obviously out of your element, but this dude by the name of Austin Matthews goes to Toronto.
And you'd have to fill me in with Sidney Crosby. I don't even remember if he was...
the kid. Yeah, so Sidney Crosby, to me, that would be almost like draft. I mean, Sidney Crosby is one of the best to ever do it, And once again, like... Go ahead.
Did he have that hype? Like, I only remember once he was in.
No, he had the hype for sure. And same thing with Austin Matthews. Like, I almost think that Austin Matthews had more hype than Sidney Crosby, but Matthews had the hype because he went to Toronto, right? And it's Canada, and they love their hockey there. And then my last comparison would be back in 2009 of the MLB draft. And keep in mind, the MLB draft is a little tricky because these guys get drafted at the top pick, but they don't always come in right away. But to me, it's Steven Strasburg, because you knew what you're getting with Steven Strasburg. The guy was going to be a special pitcher since he was like in Little League, you can see a difference in him. And obviously, with the arm comparison of Trevor Lawrence and Steven Strasburg, that's there as well. So those are my 3 comparisons of the guys that I think could be the most like Trevor Lawrence. Let's change it up a little bit here. We got Captain Rick on the line. Captain Rick, how are we doing today? Give me that fishing report. What can we expect in these next coming days? And most importantly, this weekend coming up here in Jacksonville.
Austin, I hate that. I felt so good until I heard your co-host there say he didn't remember Sidney Crosby. Wait a minute. Who is better, Austin? Gordie Howe or Bobby Orr? I mean, if you want to talk hockey, come on.
No, dude, I appreciate that, man. It's a horse apiece we're talking about. I mean, because I'm a wings guy, so I think you kind of know where I stand a little bit. But no, you have to understand we're dealing with a guy who's a little bit younger, right? Who hockey isn't the sport to follow, unfortunately. But that's why I'm here, Captain Rick. That's why I'm here to break down the hockey talk as well.
I didn't feel old until a few minutes ago. That was a pretty day today. As everybody knows, yesterday was not a pretty day. And I'm sure somewhere there were boats caught out there shrimping or commercial fishing. And in fact, I know there was. And boy, I know it was certainly no fun being on the water then. But today was another matter. I talked with Captain Robert Johnson just a few minutes ago. He was coming between the St. Augustine jetties with a fine box with 13 tubes, a couple of wahoo and a mahi, and let me tell you, the blue water trolling only going to get better for the next, I'd say month to 6 weeks anyway. Close to the shore, there's no real sign of where the cobia are. They haven't shown up yet on our beaches, and they haven't shown up as far south as Daytona, so they're kind of MIA, but I'm sure they'll be showing up here soon. Inshore, the trout fishing and the redfish fishing is excellent. Tomorrow is going to be our calmest day offshore. I'll be headed out early in the morning with about half the boats in Florida, I'm sure, because it looks like we got a little more wind picking up Wednesday. That's probably going to keep everybody fishing for reds and trout for the rest of the week, as I don't see much in the way of small boat offshore opportunities. So call in sick for tomorrow and come join us on the water.
Captain Rick, man, I love your style, and be sure to check him out Saturday mornings here on ESPN 690.
Thank you, Austin.
Oh, I love, man. Call in sick. Hey, might as well. It's going to be beautiful weather. It has been beautiful weather, by the way. That's just one of the perks sometimes of living in Jacksonville, Florida. Kuz, real quick, though, your comparison. Any NBA guys out there, first picks? Would you say John Wall, Trevor Lawrence?
For comparisons, I mean, obviously, like, we keep going back to Zion because Zion was, like, the most hyped guy I feel like I've seen in a long time.
True.
So, like, I feel like between Trevor Lawrence and him, there's a good comparison because of the hype.
Yeah.
And we did have, like if we were going to take that comparison, right, I think it was in spring or in the Summer League, Zion had this, like, the first possession, he, like, ripped the ball out of someone's hand and then just blocked the other another player. So I wonder if there's going to be, like, say the first, preseason game or there'll be a moment where Trevor Lawrence has, like, a beautiful throw, and then everyone's like, oh, my, this is it.
That's not a bad call. The only and I like the Zion comparison in terms of marketability and in terms of hype. The only reason why I shy away from Zion, though, a little bit is the fact that, when we saw Zion at Duke, I never thought this would be, like, the complete product. Right? Like, what was he known for? He's blocking shots and dunking a basketball, which, I mean, two great things of basketball, but there's so much more to it. Like, that's why I went the Derrick Rose approach a little more, because, like, Derrick Rose, to me, coming out of school, and keep in mind it was so long ago, it's hard to remember, but like, I felt like he was already, like, an NBA caliber talent. Like, he had the game to compete in the NBA. Now, much to my surprise, Zion comes in right away, and he's shooting three-pointers that we didn't see really in college, and his game translated well already. But I just still feel like Zion's got a little ways to go to have that perfect NBA game to be considered like an all-pro per se.
Yeah, I could see what you're saying because Zion, you were wondering how he would adapt.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose was probably more of a complete player, and they were kind of like, yeah, this guy's going to come in and just absolutely ball out.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anybody in between Rose and Zion coming in that kind of sticks out in terms of first picks. Because for every big first pick, you have, I mean, in the NBA, I feel like it goes like every other year. There's a first pick that just doesn't work out or isn't that first pick worthy. They don't necessarily live up to that hype or that pressure that gets put on you when you are the first pick.
Changing topics a little bit here, Kuz, and, we've teased this for the past couple weeks now. So tomorrow's your last day for a little bit.
Yeah.
Wedding, honeymoon, partying, Mexico.
Just found out Saturday, by the way, is Husband Appreciation Day.
Is it really?
I was like,
this Saturday.
I couldn't have timed that any better.
This Saturday?
Yeah.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to. It's official, right? This isn't just some kind of website saying this.
So there are conflicting reports.
Careful now.
Okay, there's one that says it's Thursday.
No.
And
No.
There's one that says Thursday, and then this other site says Saturday, and our company, which sends out an email of like, hey, just keep an eye on some of these things. They might be worth talking about on the show.
Sure.
They said Saturday. So I'm thinking Saturday.
So Saturday we don't do Thursdays for Husband Appreciation. No, let's go ahead and do the weekend when we got some time off. Maybe there's some sports on, maybe some MMA. Can't wait to put that in my wife's face. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to watch Catfish, the TV show, for the 100th time? Not today, because it's Husband Appreciation Day. How you doing? Give me the remote. All anime, all the time. We'll see ya. Can't wait, Coos. But the reason why I brought it up, so this is it's your last day tomorrow, and we're obviously gonna miss you for the week and a half here. But what we're also gonna miss is the Trevor Tracker. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Now we've had some ups and downs with the Trevor Tracker, mostly downs. My blood pressure has never been higher when we talk about the Trevor Tracker. But obviously over this past weekend, a lot of events took place. I mean, the toaster thing, obviously. And then you had, the donations, which I think is about like $7,000 now, which is absolutely insane. Jaguars Twitter, keep doing your thing. Obviously, you guys know what you're doing there. And I'm sure Trevor Lawrence appreciates that very much. But I'm going to give you your last shot, Kuz, before you head out here. With the Trevor Tracker, give me suit updates. Give me the kind of shoes that he was rocking. Give me the wedding invites. Give me the party. Give me any of his groomsmen that we should know about. Just give me the details, TMZ style. What did we miss this past weekend at Trevor Lawrence's wedding? And what can we expect going forward? Maybe in a honeymoon? I mean, I'm literally just putting you on a pedestal right now. So many easy questions. So many soft balls to hit, Kuz. Can you just give me a little inkling? Can you just give me a little appetizer of the Trevor Tracker?
Yeah, sure. So Trevor Lawrence for the wedding wore a black suit. It looked like it was a black skinny tie.
Nice.
On top of that.
Those are in?
Yeah, they are in. I don't know if I could pull off the skinny tie look, to be honest with you.
Yep. Hair was his hair traditional?
Hair's just down.
What would you call that traditional?
Although it does look like he's got it cut recently. It's like right at the shoulder length.
Careful
I feel like
now, Trevor. Careful.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it was longer in the past. Other than that, it seems like they had a good time. I was trying to get the color of the ring that he's wearing, and I can't tell. I think it's silver.
Okay.
Very small, but that just could be because he has bigger hands. Like I can't tell with the ring.
I'm sure.
So,
did you see her ring?
Honestly, she didn't post a picture of her ring at all.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Isn't that surprising?
What girl doesn't post a picture of her ring? Because and once again, and this is the problem of the Trevor Tracker. Okay? Because I understand, like, I gave you, crap for talking about her getting her identity stolen, and that was like the lead-off story. But now this is wedding stuff, Kuz.
Yeah.
All right? Like, this is big deal. And people talk about the ring. Like, the ring is front page a lot of time. Nothing.
I'm telling you, she put two reels? It's a video and a reel. So between the video and the reel, which is, okay, she has 10 photos on this reel. No ring shot. There's no rings on it.
Maybe wasn't satisfied with it? No.
They also got each other matching like diamond wristbands as like wedding presents to each other, which totally freaked me out when I saw that. Like, am I supposed to get...
Is that a thing?
Dude, I don't know.
Like diamond wristbands?
Yeah, well, they got like matching ones, but now I'm worried like...
Well, what do you mean go ahead, sorry.
Am I supposed to get Nicole a present? I thought I was the present.
No, no. Hey, here's a wedding one. You have to get your wife a present the day of the wedding.
Do I really?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Yeah, yes, you do. And she should get you one as well. Hey, establish these things now.
Well, but...
Okay.
Okay.
Are you okay?
No.
Here's what you do. Here's what you do. Little secret of the pros here. Okay. Do something that's got sentimental value. For instance, for my wife's like day. And by the way, I mean.
So you do have to do this.
No,
this is a thing.
But you're preaching the choir here. All right. When I heard I had to do this, was I excited about it? No. Was I pumped up about it? Absolutely not. Because what more? I mean, there's. Come on.
Okay.
But trying to keep it within the rails here, do a sentimental gift. Here's what I did. So I found a picture of the night that my wife and I were kind of on our first date. It was a group date. And I found a picture, and I framed it, and I made it black and white, like real Instagram-ish, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then it was like a nice wooden, like white frame, just really popped, and that was her gift from me. And then a nice letter, too. And by letter, it was like a Hallmark card where I said, here we go. And that was it.
So I do have to get something then.
I would get something for sure.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So didn't mean to sidetrack the Trevor Tracker to your own personal problems, but take my advice, you better get on
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's a thing.
Oh,
Coos, you got to Google these things, man.
I figured someone would tell me.
You're in shambles. So anything else on the Trevor Tracker before we go to break here?
No, I haven't seen if they're doing any honeymoon stuff yet. So
I mean, spring, obviously. We just passed Easter. What kind of colors was everybody rocking, Coos, from the bridal party? We get any of that?
Well, I didn't see. So
unbelievable.
all the guys were in black.
Oof.
For the suits.
Okay.
I don't see. It was like a. And I'm going to be so bad with the colors. It was like a, I guess pink is a bad way to say it, but like a lighter pink, I think.
Okay. So before we go to break here, and I want an honest answer, do you feel this Trevor Tracker went good or bad?
I feel like it was great.
You think it went fantastic?
I think it needs to continue.
You think it was the best one yet?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have a little chit-chat after this break here.
No.
And we're going to talk about it a little bit.
The one part that I didn't add.
Yeah.
This was Justin Bieber's venue, by the way.
Shut up.
That's serious.
Justin Bieber got married at the same venue?
There is some talk from the other side, the top 40 station, that yes, that it was the same one.
Was he there?
I don't think he was there.
Yeah, you don't want Justin Bieber at your wedding. That's gonna. Hey, if Justin Bieber is at your wedding, lasts about a year tops. That guy's like the Drake of pop music. More on ESPN 690 when we get back. No more Trevor Tracker though. At least for today.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A lot of clear sky this evening. Temperatures falling into the 70s and 60s, but overnight lows in the upper 50s. It will be dry. A dry day tomorrow, too. A lot of sunshine, warm, lower 80s around the metro, mid to upper 80s well inland, and mid to upper 70s right along the coast. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Biedenball.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Don't miss the buy one, get one free on wedding bands through the 25th.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000. Or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey folks, living in Florida, we don't really worry about the seasons except for one, hurricane season. And since your home is your most important asset, protecting your home with Rhino Shield against harsh Florida weather is good for your house and it's good for your budget. As the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to your house, those cracks in the walls will cost you thousands if not repaired. Rhino Shield waterproofs your home with a coating that's 13 times thicker than box store paint. It reflects 97% of harmful UV rays, has a Class A fire rating, is salt air corrosive resistant, contains the highest quality ceramics, and of course it comes in any color. Plus, with our 25-year warranty, you get a non-prorated 100% transferable warranty that guarantees against chipping, cracking, and peeling. So call 904-519-5055 or visit rhinoshieldjax.com and protect your house and your budget.
So you'll never have to paint again. Call Rhino Shield today.
Here in the Sunshine State, we live in 2 time zones. We cheer for 3 NFL teams. We have over 3 million men over the age of 45, and over half suffer from ED or PE. If you're having problems in the bedroom, you'll see results on your first visit at Prime Men's Medical Center. Guaranteed, or your consultation is free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. If pills like Viagra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center has custom blended medications to help you last longer in the bedroom, regardless of age or past medical history, with no pain and no surgery. You'll see results right in the office, guaranteed, or your exam is free. Patients are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Contact Prime Men's Medical Center to schedule a private consultation. Call 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Honda of the Avenues is the winner of the 2021 Dealer Rater Consumer Satisfaction Award, and you'll be satisfied too with the great deals happening in their service department. Honda of the Avenues has a 5% discount for seniors all the time and 10% military discounts. Plus, Ladies' Day is every Wednesday in the service department. That includes a free tire rotation with oil change and 5% off any other recommended service. See why so many people are giving Honda of the Avenues 5 stars. Find out more at HondaoftheAvenues.com.
Hi, I'm here reporting from one of the vaccine locations, and we're asking people today why they decided to get vaccinated. Ma'am, why are you getting the vaccine?
I'm getting the vaccine so that I can travel and be safe.
The COVID vaccine is a safe and proven way to get our lives back to normal. This is why the Florida Division of Emergency Management partnered with local community leaders to create Vax904.com. Visit Vax904.com or call 357-0892 to get more information.
Purchasing home and auto insurance? Do it the Simply way with Simply IOA. Compare quotes and buy a policy online or over the phone. Search Simply IOA or call 844-TALK-TO-SIMPLY. Simply IOA. Insurance the Simply way.
For survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties, Hubbard House provides free, confidential emergency shelter and services. Call our 24-hour hotline at 904-354-3114.
Ever finally get around to trying something and it's so much better than you expected? Where you're mentally kicking yourself for not doing it sooner or wondering where it's been your whole life? That's how Griffin customers feel about their Florida-rated AC. They even tell me,
we're never going back to regular AC.
And it's the same for our Florida-rated water heaters, too. It's so much better, our customers wonder why no one told them about it before. Well, we fix what others can't. Tired of having to run a shower or faucet for 3 minutes before you actually get hot water? We can fix that.
Nice.
Tired of Jacksonville's swampy hard water hurting your appliances and hair? We can fix it.
Naturally.
Tired of a tank water heater going bad every 5 to 8 years or running out of hot water?
Yep.
Griffin can fix that big time.
Oh, yeah. I never knew I could have hot water as soon as I turn on the tap.
And my hair could be so much healthier. And my appliances can last longer.
Well, you can, but only if you call
GriffinService.com.
1430-261-1250-697.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jewell's in St. Augustine at Murabella Crossing. Open 7 days a week. It's old school barbecue. Trivia night on Monday. Kids eat free on Wednesdays. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all of your events. Visit williejewels.com and visit Willie Jewell's at Murabella Crossing in St. Augustine. Old school barbecue, smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
Austin Lane.
The Rock, out of nowhere, buys the XFL during a pandemic, mind you, goes half in with his ex-wife. So now you're going to business with your ex-wife.
Brent Martineau.
I don't know if that's on the business advice list.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
I think it would be an absolute disaster. Yes, and I think we've already seen it. Now, I don't want you to come back at me in 6 or 7 months and say, "Why did you say that?" I think you have to. You can't come back to me until 3 years from now when Urban Meyer has a teary press conference when he looks like somebody's doing live acupuncture of him while he's talking. He misses his family and he didn't realize it was going to be a 9-day-a-week job. I've had dinner with him. I've sat with him at functions. I've been around him him. I've covered him for 15 years. He should not have taken the job. Listen, he's in a good spot right now. I mean, he's got Trevor Lawrence. He's also in a town that there really is no pressure, Jacksonville, Florida. But he shouldn't be coaching. I mean, Urban Meyer just can't make up his mind what he wants to do. He said he was going to quit at Florida. He came back, and we all know how that worked out. He went to Ohio State and did a brilliant job there, except for this. He should have won about 4 national championships. I mean, I think he underperformed there, but at the end, he was fighting whatever demons he was fighting in terms of what. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with the guy. He will not make it. You can go ahead. You can go to Vegas right now and bank on that.
Well, that was Paul Feinbaum from ESPN. What's up with ESPN last week and trying to squash all the Jacksonville excitement? My goodness. Hey, I want to ask you about WrestleMania in a moment, but just a quick thought on that. I mean, I think we've talked a lot about Urban Meyer, and, when he first got hired, there were critics. That was interesting to me about Feinbaum. I almost got the sense from Feinbaum 2 things, okay? This is what, and I don't know their relationship at all, but I got the sense that he tried to get Urban on the show a few times, and he didn't want to go on the show or something like that. Like, that's kind of where that came from.
Yeah.
But I also get the feel that this is the problem with a lot of folks. Now, I talked to some Gator fans out here today at the Child Cancer Fund golf tournament, and they were not like this. So I'm still trying to get the read on Gator fan, because I long said Gator fans should be celebrating Urban Meyer more. The goal is to win national titles in football. He won 2 of them. You should not dislike him as much as you do. All right? And I understand all the circumstances, but it's years later. And so I never really fully got it from Gator fans, as the years went by. Some of that was because they stunk. After he left, they stunk. And now you can kind of say, okay, we're better now. We got Dan Mullen. We're winning games. So now it's okay to like Urban Meyer again. I guess that's part of fandom. But I never quite understood why you didn't celebrate Urban more, because he won you 2 national titles. And that's kind of what college fans and programs want to be and want to do. But this is where Feinbaum kind of falls in for me. Feinbaum covers the SEC, mostly. As the Florida Gators play in the SEC. Ohio State didn't play in the SEC. They play on the Big Ten Network and all that, obviously the Big Ten, but they're on the Big Ten Network. That's kind of their home channel, all that stuff. I got the sense almost that Feinbaum's making the mistake even Gator fans have been making, and that is the Urban Meyer of 2021 is not necessarily the same Urban Meyer of 2009. 2010, 2008, 2006. I think Urban Meyer is getting lumped into those Gator days, and it's like, well, nothing's changed since then. I think he actually did change. I think there were signs of his change at Ohio State. And there are probably more changes if we knew him even better now that he's coming to Jacksonville. So I think Feinbaum, it felt like he either hasn't accepted an invite for an interview in the last handful of years and he wanted to try to get him, or 2, I just feel like Feinbaum's even stuck in the 2006 to 2010 Urban Meyer years rather than the last decade. And again, Urban even knows he comes with some criticism. This isn't me just defending Urban Meyer, but I think some of it is, hey, people do change. Things do change. People learn from some things along the way. Maybe Feinbaum will be right, and maybe this is a bad moment for me in saying that he's going to be wrong. I just thought that was a little bit harsh from Feinbaum in the context that he put it in, rather than just a simple prediction of, hey, I don't think he's going to fare too well in the long run.
Well, okay, so let's go ahead and divide this into 2 groups. And let's go ahead and divide it up into the Florida Gator fans and then Paul Feinbaum. Now, whether there is some animosity built up because Urban Meyer was with Fox and Feinbaum was with ESPN, that might be the case, and that's why they couldn't work together. Nevertheless, there appears to be a little personal issue there. But if you're a Florida State fan, and Urban Meyer still rubs you the wrong way a little bit. Like, I'm not saying that's right, because I don't think it is, because once again, he did bring you a couple of national championships. You should be thankful for that.
Yeah, Florida,
Yeah, I'm sorry, Florida. But at the same time, you're in the world of sports, and we've talked about this before, you're only as good as kind of how you go out. Like, people forget how much you did for them. They'll remember you on your way out of the door. And when you talk about Urban Meyer leaving Florida, it probably wasn't on the best terms. When you talk about Urban Meyer, with Ohio State, when he left, it probably, and they would say, they're the biggest fans in Ohio State, but, it wasn't the best of terms in terms of optics and all that stuff. So maybe, Feinbaum's using that a little bit of that as well. And how he feels about Urban Meyer, I have no idea. But that's the way that most sports people think. You never take it to account just how much they meant to you. It's, well, he left us with, and now we're miserable. Only until like years and years and years later, when you reflect, you realize how special that dude was to your program. I don't think we're quite there yet for a lot of Florida Gator fans because, let's be honest, they haven't had a lot of success. Now they're on their way up again with Mullen. We shall see. And in Ohio State, the way it left with the controversy, to me it wasn't as bad as Florida because you can kind of see it coming a little bit brewing in Ohio State.
Well, not only that, they've been very good since, right? So they didn't have the downfall, so there's no reason to be mad, right? When you lose, you're bitter about something. You're mad about something. Something screwed up, so let's blame Urban Meyer. And like I said, I get some of the initial nature of that. I just don't understand how it's carried over 10 years or so that I even wonder to myself, if Urban Meyer went back to the swamp, would they cheer him or boo him? I mean, and it should be a crazy ovation for a guy who won 2 national titles. The other thing about this, just finish with this, because I feel like we've talked about it a lot, but it was just interesting. Feinbaum said that out of 98.7 FM. Ironically, in New York, ESPN in New York is where Feinbaum said that. I think one thing we have to remember is while it feels like Urban Meyer has had very short stints at Ohio State and Florida, they are not that short. They're not 2 or 3 years long. We're talking 5, 6, 7-year stints at these places. If you could last 6 years in the NFL, that's a pretty damn good run, quite frankly. So I think his window of 3 years is way off. Way off. It doesn't match the trend. So if you want to go that route, the trend of Urban maybe not something going wrong or saying see you later or all the things that Feinbaum just said, they probably wouldn't come into and take place for another 5, 6, 7 years. And in the NFL, if you can be a head coach for 5, 6, 7 years, you're probably doing something right. Right now, the Jags would take a coach and be there for 6, 7 years because they probably won.
Yeah.
So I just feel like there's this perception that he was there for 2 years and boom, got out of there. That's the perception of it. It's not the reality of it at both Ohio State and Florida. So here I am defending Urban Meyer. I thought it was a little bit harsh by Feinbaum. I know that's a little bit of what he does, but it felt like something else was behind that when it comes to Paul Feinbaum. Hey, I want to ask you about WrestleMania. Let's take a break, and then on the other side, so you have ample time to tell me about WrestleMania. But first, just tease it. Was WrestleMania good?
Yeah, I mean, it was 2 nights, much to the chagrin of my wife. So we had to watch it for both nights because, I had to do homework for the show. But overall, it was better than expected. I went in with 0 expectations. I kind of broke that down Friday as we're leaving the show, how nobody was talking about it. There was no hype around it. But I thought that, overall the weekend showcased some new wrestlers, put some new people on a pedestal, which is always a good thing in wrestling, and also had some great matches. So I left WrestleMania probably giving about a B+, maybe a B overall, which I think is fine. It's suitable for what we're working with up until the build-up of WrestleMania.
All right, I got a couple questions about it, and I want you to get a little bit more into it. We got some wrestling fans coming off WrestleMania. We can talk a little wrestling. It's up next. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 will put a bow on the show from Jacksonville Golf and Country Club. We are at the Child Cancer Fund Golf Tournament, raising some money for the kids and the families battling cancer here in the area. We'll be right back on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Monday. I'm Jake Mitchell. The Masters wrapped up yesterday from Augusta, and when the final shot fell in the cup, Hideki Matsuyama was victorious, finishing the weekend at 10 under par. He's also the first ever Japanese man to win a major. Here he is with what that means for Japan.
I can't say if I'm the greatest. However, I'm the first to win a major. And if that's the bar, then I've said it.
And in football news, one of the all-time great Tennessee Titan running backs, Eddie George, will take over as head coach of the Tennessee State Tigers. And Mike Tyson isn't the only boxing legend making a return to the ring. Evander Holyfield will face Kevin McBride on June 5th. Real Deal is 58 years old. The SportsCenter Update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
It's been 6 months since my wife leased her new Cadillac from Fields Auto Group, and she absolutely loves it. It's our first experience with Fields, and it's been terrific. They say you can step up to luxury for less And we did. Not just a luxury Cadillac XT6. The car is beautiful, but the customer service is extra special too. It was like that at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville, and it will be like that at any of the Fields locations in Jacksonville. Cadillac, of course, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche as well. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. We are now part of that Fields Amenities program, and my wife tried the loaner program. It was easy and a nice added benefit. So whatever you're driving, see Fields and step up to luxury for less. Check out their locations all around Jacksonville, just like we did. You can go visit fieldsauto.com.
Come celebrate Tire Outlet's Yulee grand opening April 22nd through the 24th. Enter to win a 4x4 ATV or a tire and wheel package. Stop by our Yulee location during our grand opening event to fill out an entry. Tire Outlet. Wholesale prices, premium service.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000. Or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Where else can you get luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials? Only one place, at Colhane's Irish Pub at Atlantic Beach and on the south side. It's as Irish as you can get, owned by 4 Irish sisters. And they've got fish and chips, of course, shepherd's pie. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. ColhainesIrishPub.com for the full menu. And try the new 5 Sisters vodka at happy hour. Lunch and brunch and booze and specials and so much more. 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and the south side. Colhane's Irish Pub, Irish sass with 5-star class.
If you're usually listening to ESPN 690 in your car, but your boss has you working from home this week, well, take us with you. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jacks. Tell Amazon Echo or Google Home, play ESPN 690, and enjoy all that sweet listening coverage.
Trevor Lawrence is in a different classification with everyone else. I mean, I don't really think it's comparable. You know, no reason to cry over spilled milk with the Jets for doing something they don't do very well, and that's win. So, and after that, I would go with Justin Fields, and then I would probably go with Mac Jones, believe it or not. I'm not as fascinated by him as some of my colleagues, because he had such an amazing cast around him, but I still believe that he just has the intangibles, and sometimes in the NFL you just have to go with that. So I trust him. So that, I mean, those would be my 3. I mean, after that, I think you're grabbing, but I don't. And Zach Wilson 4th. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, didn't mean to leave out New York's favorite child here.
That is Paul Feinbaum on 98.7. ESPN Radio out of New York. Almost left out the guy they all want to take. Whoops. The interesting quarterback conversation continues around Mac Jones and Zach Wilson. Justin Fields continues to feel like some momentum for Justin Fields. A lot of defenders of Justin Fields. Where do the other quarterbacks fit? Trey Lance, even a Kyle Trask. It is conversation we continue to have as a countdown to the NFL draft continues here in Jacksonville especially, and we're going to have unprecedented coverage coming up on draft night, 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock on TV on Fox 30 and CBS 47. Of course, we'll have the show live from the stadium and the draft party that's going to take place. I mean, heck, we'll have pretty much nonstop coverage from the wee hours of the morning into the night as the Jaguars pick Trevor Lawrence and whoever at number 25. But a big deal for Mac Jones, who likely will get drafted in the top 5, quite frankly, and that would be historic as well. In Jacksonville. Brent Martineau here at Jacksonville Golf and Country Club, Child Cancer Fund Golf Tournament. What a beautiful day it was. I always feel, as I put together a golf tournament, I always feel good for the folks that put together the tournament and they get a great weather day. And today was a gorgeous weather day. So appreciate everybody who came out and supported the Child Cancer Fund. Once again, Carathon coming up on the Cox Media Group stations and WOKV especially in August. Brent Martineau here, Austin Lane, Coos along as well here on a Monday. I wanted to ask a little bit about WrestleMania. You gave us a little bit before the break. Mm-hmm. And it was funny, like you said that, because I didn't know it was coming up this weekend. Now, I'm like not a wrestling fan, so that's not, that's like me saying, hey, Austin, did you know the John Deere Classic was happening last weekend, right?
Yeah.
So,
and respectively, like, golf is doing just fine without me being its fan. Wrestling's doing just fine without you being their fan. So we're all good,
but
man.
But I'm always interested in, like, not necessarily the match by match, but the business of it, and now the competition of it with Tony Khan and AEW. So that fascinates me. And I saw people tweeting about WrestleMania on Saturday, and I'm like, okay, WrestleMania must be tonight. Mm-hmm. And then I saw people tweeting about WrestleMania on Sunday. And I'm like, wait a minute, I thought it was last night.
Back-to-back
So what
nights.
was last night?
Yep.
So was this a first time that it was a back-to-back nighter?
Brent, this was the first time in 1 year and 1 day that WrestleMania hosted 2 nights, and they made it a habit of telling you like that through like the entire presentation, both Saturday and Sunday. I think it was just the fact that they plan on the quarantine still. They plan on doing it like at their home base, but then with regulations opening up and everything, the crowd was able to be there. So then they moved it to Tampa Bay. So then they started selling tickets and everything. So they still made it 2 nights though.
Okay, so last year was 2 nights as well.
Correct.
Last year, when we talked about WrestleMania, had to be postponed for a bit, and the radio show had numbers never seen before.
Ratings couldn't be higher. Yes, that is correct.
And you just said the show was good. Wasn't an anticipated show, but overall, it was a good weekend for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, like most WrestleManias or really like most wrestling pay-per-views in general, there was a lot of good. There was some bad, and it's ironic because what I thought was going to be the best match of both days ended up being the worst match. So that was kind of hard to swallow a little bit as the Fiend was taking on Randy Orton. And then, by the way, the Fiend is Bray Wyatt. Brent, we mentioned him before a little bit. He was the guy that had like that cryptic message that he started back, like 3 or 4 years ago, that people were trying to like figure out and everything. And, as far as storytelling, no one does a better job, but the payoff, at least right now, from where it stands, it did absolutely nothing for the storyline. Hopefully we get some more stuff tonight. So that was a little disappointing from the Fiend's perspective. But the main event of WrestleMania, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, Edge, I feel like no one had expectations for that one, either being a triple threat match that can kind of go underneath the radar a little bit. But it was actually good, man. It ended with, I think, a pretty satisfying finish.
Jimbo, by the way, said, and not Jimbo that I know that's our rules official Jimbo, he definitely doesn't watch wrestling, but this Jimbo, real Jimbo Rad, on Twitter, says, when they try squeezing it into one night, it's past the bedtime of so many of their fans, it makes sense to separate into 2 nights. And I do remember those conversations. It went forever, right? And a lot of people complained about it going forever.
Well, no, for sure. But also going to need to make a little request to Vince McMahon and WWE. Don't have the Fiend be the very first match of the night, because obviously it's dealing with a bunch of like horror stuff, and it scares the crap out of kids. So then now I got a son who is scared to go to bed because it's 8:30 and we're watching the Fiend do his thing, and obviously I have to go into dad mode, and it's okay, buddy. But like at the same time, I want to say, suck it up a little bit. You're 6 years old. I had to deal with as a child. I had to deal with Papa Shango and the Ultimate Warrior going back and back. And Papa Shango put a curse on the Ultimate Warrior where he threw up everywhere, and I thought he was gonna die. All right, so I had to deal with that in my my ages of 6 years old and 7 years old. So don't tell me that you're afraid of Bray Wyatt because he's rocking too much gory stuff on his face. It's gonna be okay. It ain't like the Ultimate Warrior, your hero's dying and right in front of your eyes. Like I had to go through.
Suck it up, Ronan Stitchman.
Dude doesn't even know. He doesn't even know what. He has no idea. When I was like 5 or 6 and I'm watching the Ultimate Warrior getting carted out on a gurney, throwing up some yellow stuff because I thought he was gonna die because Papa Shango put a curse on him. It's forever etched in my brain, Brent.
When we ask about wrestling, if I ask you this question real quick, though.
Yes.
AEW I hear about all the time. Tony Khan, Mike Tyson, all this stuff. But they're right in our backyard, so you'd think I would.
Yes.
Are they catching up? Where are we at? Like, if this is I don't know, like a chart, have they crept up? Have they taken a big jump? Have they dropped back down? Where are we at?
So I think they are progressively climbing because with the help of Sting and other big names, it shows that they're in it for the long haul. At the end of the day, wrestling is better for AEW, and the fact that NXT, who their competition was, is going to Tuesday nights now, so they don't have to take on AEW anymore. That should tell you all you need to know about AEW. The fact that Vince McMahon, mighty Vince McMahon, the billionaire himself, chose to move his show from Wednesday night to Tuesday night because he didn't like the ratings for his own company. That tells you how AEW is doing.
Yeah. I kind of feel like AEW's us.
Yeah?
And WWE's like the other guys.
Kind of like the national media? Kind of like the Stephen A. Smiths of the world?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah. Or maybe
I love being the underdog.
Local, but
It is what it is, but I love being the underdog.
Me too. Hey, cool partnership today with the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Will carry all their games on ESPN690.com and more than 90 of their days right here on ESPN 690. So that is a lot of fun. Live, local, loud coming up next. See you on TV tonight, CBS 47 and Fox 30. Austin, have a good night, man. We'll do it again tomorrow at 3. Coos, one more day before you escape to get married.
One more.
We'll roast them tomorrow, I guess. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 on ESPN 690.
Beards Diamonds has been busy this spring,
getting their showcases ready for the largest inventory of wedding bands in North Florida.
So if you're getting married soon or want to upgrade your bands, don't miss Beards Diamonds' incredible buy one, get one wedding band sale.
Going on now and only at Beards Diamonds. All wedding bands are buy one, get one free.